Raul Meza, driver of the number 37 Pro Chevrolet, driving for Warrior Racing Esports out of Los Angeles, California.
Brandon Bullock, driver of the 17 Team Watson Racing Setups Toyota Tundra from Macon, Missouri.
Adam Newton, driver of the number 19 DSR Swim Motorsports truck.
Joey the Joker Doucette, driver of the number 16, in memory of my mom, Chevrolet, from Oakland, Maine, for Upfront Motorsports.
Zach Hartwick, driver of the number 38, on the pole, Toyota, Grand Blanc, Michigan, and I forgot my helmet.
Brian Chu, driver of the number 51 DSR Electric Toyota out of Fort Myers, Florida, for Sick-Witted Motorsports.
I'm Phil Pappas, driver of the 85 Chevrolet Silverado for BP Racing for Autism.
Lucas Whitehead, driver of the number 33 Chevy Silverado for Mission 1 Esports from Lone Mountain, Tennessee. Go Vols.
Out of Langston, Pennsylvania, Nathan Mallard, driver of the 971 DSR Electric Toyota TRD.
Chris Blanchard, number 9, Upfront Motorsports, Blanchard's Towing Chevrolet.
Justin White, driver of the Sick-Witted Motorsports, number 2, Concerns of Police Survivors, Toyota Tundra TRD.
Robert Richards, driver of the 48 Timberland Toyota Tacoma out of Gastonia, North Carolina, Mission 1 Esports.
Dean Doucette, number 55, Nazareth 360 Racing Network, Toyota, London, Ontario, Canada, part of Mission 1 Esports.
I'm Chris Cinnamon, driver of the number 3 Upfront Motorsports Ford. Here's my crew chief and spotter, Turbo. We're from Fort McMurray, Alberta.
Mark Morton, driver of the number 8 Scooters Coffee Chevy Silverado for Team Warrior Racing.
Jose Luis Rivera, driver of the number 20, the All-Star race winner himself, will be trying to get a championship for Depp Racing. Let's get it.
Matthew David Wood, driver of the number 21 NJB Design Chevrolet for Highline Racing. God bless you all and go Mountaineers.
Hi, Jeff Merck, driver of the number 60 Chevy Silverado for Upfront Motorsports, Punta Gorda, Florida.
Keith Bradley, driver of the Indy Race Parts Dan's Top Notch Heating Pulling number 29 Toyota Tundra from Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series, the Blanchards 275 at Talladega Superspeedway. Yes, folks, we're going to be whistling Dixie all night long here tonight for 275 miles, 105 laps around the Talladega Superspeedway. Good evening, folks. I am the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Got the Australian Dean Hopton Biggles up here in the booth, going to be co-commentating and also giving you some fantastic camera angles here of the race tonight, folks. The schedule, it's already went all the way down to the Elite 10, which is where we're at this evening. Last week, we had Phoenix. Keith Bradley won that race. We'll check out those points here in just a second. But there you see the rest of the schedule tonight. A crown jewel race here at the Talladega Superspeedway next week. You're going to be at Chicagoland. And then after Chicagoland, we're going to narrow it down to the Championship 6. We're going to find out who's going to Homestead on June 21st, 2024. There you see your Elite 10, ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Merck. Coming on strong right here when he needs to be. Keith Bradley, hell, he's been strong all season. MDW, Matthew David Wood, Adam Newton, Dean Doucette. A matter of fact, I talked to Dean Doucette earlier on before the broadcast this evening, so I'll give you some comments on what he was saying, as well as Mark Morton up here in this. Joey Doucette, Brian Chew, another driver we really need to be watching out for here tonight at Talladega. Robbie Richards talked to him pre-race as well as Phil Pappas. But, you know, one thing about this, folks, this is a crown jewel race. Obviously, there's a logo that's in place, all that good stuff for the Blanchards towing 275. And also, these guys, if they win this race, there you see the logo on your screen. The driver that wins the race here tonight, they're going to get a laser engraved trophy to put on their trophy shelf, put on the back of their toilet, wherever the hell they want to put it. Son, they're going to get a laser engraved trophy, which is going to be awesome for that driver. But Dean, we are back in my home state. We're right here in the backyard of Dixie, Talladega, Alabama, 2.66 miles in length, 33 degrees in both of the bankings, turn 1 and turns 2. 4 wide, mostly 3 wide racing. They can go 4 wide and even 5 wide. The big one, the barbecues, the party in the infield. Dave, you get it all when you go to Talladega Superspeedway.
Oh, we're back, Jacob. We're back. We're back just like we were yesterday. And it seems like we've gone nowhere. Thank you very much for your sofa as well, too. Very comfortable at the moment there. And we cooked up some roux on the barbecue that I bring over from Australia. Everybody in the chat there, Ann says, Upfront Motorsports, let's get it done. Well, they have to get it done, my friend, because it's crunch time in Talladega, my friend. Well, if you don't get it done, of course, don't worry. Jacob, we'll go fire up the barbecue and we'll sit around, have a couple of brewskis, my friend, and we'll just talk about what could have been, or should have been.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, awesome. Yeah, I got a feeling you're probably going to go with that Aussie beer, but obviously I'm going to go with the American beer. Obviously, the Michelob Ultras, all that good stuff, but also talked a little beer last night on the door banging down low. We had the Spice Man, Chris Cinnamon, on the show last night. Obviously, there is you're riding on board doing his qualifying run right now. So Chris Cinnamon, as you know, was the champion for the Season 3 of the DSR Electric Truck Series on Monday nights here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. And also, that series is going to get kicked off this Monday night at Daytona, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, only on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. But had a good conversation with Chris Cinnamon on the podcast last night, door banging download on Spotify. And, believe it or not, him being a Canadian, he didn't like Canadian beer. He usually goes with the American beer. So that's kind of new right there for the Spice Man right there. It kind of blew my mind. It's probably going to blow a lot of y'all's minds out there, especially if y'all end up listening to the episode. It was a great episode. A lot of real stuff in it as well, which is, the stuff that we really love to have on the podcast. But Chris Salmon, appreciate him coming on the show last night. And Chris is one of those guys, Dean. I mean, he was in the playoffs, and now he's not. He got knocked out in the very first round. So this is a man right here that we could see at the end of the race basically have nothing to lose and just pretty much go for broke and just try to get a win here at Talladega. This is a man that we need to be watching out for because he could be a wild card this evening.
You mentioned it, Jacob, of course. Yeah, the Spice Man, Chris, the man up north. The only Dean just said, of course, the other Dean, the Dean's, of course, I'm the other Dean, but Dean's going to also be threatened at the moment, as you can see there in the Elite 10 at the moment. We do have an Aussie in here, and of course, that is Mr. Ashley, and I have to go for Mr. Ashley as well, too, my friend, but unfortunately, I think he's got no shot at the title to get through the next round, but, Aussie, 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 come on, give me an oi, oi, oi out there in the chat.
Oi, oi, oi. I'll go with you on that one. I help you out on that one, Dean. And, as these drivers are just getting closed in on their qualifying, I did mention that I talked to Robbie Richards about this. And, folks, there's a reason why I talked to Robbie Richards about this, because he's got to get through this round right here, Dean. He's got to get through the Elite 10. He's got to survive Talladega, and he's got to go out, and he's got to do something next week at Chicagoland for him to have a shot to get in that championship 6. The reason I bring up Robbie Richards is there is a possibility, big time possibility if he makes it to the championship 6. He could easily dethrone this Upfront Motorsports, powerhouse that Merck and Bradley have had so far this season. Because Robbie Richards, last time we was at Homestead, he was able to put down some serious speed. And last time I mean by that is when we was at the DSR Electric Truck Series. He beat yours truly, the Redneck Announcer, for his very first win of the season last season for DSR. And Robbie knows how to get around Homestead. He loves that place. So he would be a man that I would be watching out for. I talked to him, said that he's going to try to maybe just see how everything plays out right here in the first stage. If things start to get crazy, he may drop to the back, which is, the safe strategy. Also talked to Dean Doucette, the Dean of Deans. Dean, you were talking about him. I talked to him, pre-race as well. And Dean said, he's happy. Obviously, this is coming in a rookie season for the Dean of Deans, Dean Doucette. Coming in to tonight, being able to make it to the Elite 10. He wants to try to just be able to survive and have a shot to try to be there at the end. So, from what Dean said, watch out for that 55 tonight because he may be making some hellacious moves before this thing's all said and done.
I think you covered it quite well there, Mr. Jacob. The Redneck Announcer, of course, and if you want to tune in, of course, if you are drivers or fans or anything like that, make sure you send a DM out there to Jacob, and if you can't find Jacob on any of the racing networks across the board of iRacing, well, you don't know Jacob. He's everywhere. You can't get rid of him. I tried the combination lock door here in the broadcasting booth, but Jacob always finds a combination into there. But you know what, Jacob? That's just puns intended. No puns intended, my friend. It's glad to have you back in the booth, my friend, because that's it. Qualifying, my dear friend, is done and dusted. And you know what that means next? You have to go through the grid of these gladiators.
Yes, sir. And we got about 25 of them, give or take. Got a couple of them out there. Hunter Parsons, Stephen Gregory, going to be race control here this evening. But up front, you got last season's champion, Jeff Merck, on a hot streak right now. Up there in that first spot right beside of him, you got to have MDW, Matthew David Wood, 2 drivers in that Elite 10. Watch out for them here this evening. Ed Osborne, how about old Ed up there? Is going to start in the 3rd spot. Good qualifying effort for that number 28 in the animal, the pink animal, as you said last week, Dean. The animal, pink animal, Keith Bradley, going to be up here starting in P number 4. A driver that knows how to get around Talladega very, very well. The 81 of Taylor Peacock. He may be able to get up here and pull an upset here tonight at Talladega. Wouldn't be an upset because this man knows how to get around this super speedway. He was starting the 5th spot. And another driver in the Elite 10, the number 8, Mark Morton, going to start to his outside in P6. Another driver that knows how to get around Talladega pretty good, Chris Blanchard. He's going to start in P7 with the Joker, Joey Doucette, back with the familiar purple and yellow colors. He's going to start from P8. A driver that needs no introduction as well to Super Speedway Racing. And my pick to win the DSR Electric Truck Series season opener this Monday night, Brian Chew in the number 51. He's going to start in P9. And to his outside, the 85 of Phil Pappas looking to have a good run here this evening. Another driver in the Elite 10, Adam Newton, the Bulldogs, going to start from the 11th spot with Cody Knott, one of the producers here with Nazareth 360, going to start in P number 12. Eric Zimmerman going to roll off 13th. Raul Meza 14th. This week's guest for the Beer Buddy segment on the Door Banging Download, the Spice Man, Chris Cinnamon, going to be rolled off P15 with Dane Hagan rolled off in P16. And the last driver to take a time here tonight, obviously, our friend from up north, the Canadian, the Dean of Deans, Dean Doucette, starting in P17. Nate Maurer is going to roll off from P18 in the number 971. And our good buddy, your buddy, Dean, the Aussie, going to be starting from P19, the 88 of Ashley Dodson, the Outback Kid. You got to have Keith Haney going to be starting on the outside of him. Also, Robbie Richards going to be back here. All these drivers did not take a time. Robbie Richards, Brandon Bullock, Stephen Thomas, Hutt Wigington, Brandon Broadfoot, and Casey Mink. Those are the drivers that will be at it here tonight. Should be about 25 of them, Dean. What's the thought right now through some of these drivers' minds? Obviously, you know, you don't do a whole lot of racing, but you've seen a whole lot of races with the Redneck Announcer here at Talladega. What's these guys, what are they feeling here tonight?
Stage breaks as well, too. We haven't even mentioned that one at the moment. You're going to be thinking about lap 35.
Oh, yes.
That's the one you're going to be thinking about. That's your stage break. And then get to lap 70, of course, 105. Get the trifecta, my friend. You got it all done. 3 sets of tires, 100% gasoline in the tank there. And, of course, the green-white check-it attempts that we saw yesterday as well, my friend, on the Nazareth Network. But tonight, as I said, I'd be thinking stage 1 first. Yeah, baby steps, my friend. You've got to learn to crawl before you can walk, and then so you can pursue your way through the rest of the race. Thank you, everybody. Daniel's also said, let's go swim. A lot of swim supporters out there, Jacob.
Out there and a lot of swim drivers here this evening. Pace truck looks like it's fixing to pull off, folks. There's been 3 days here with the Nazareth 360 Racing Network here at Talladega. 2 of them's been Goat Locker. Andy Kurtz won Wednesday night in the ARCA Series. He won last night in a truck, and guess what, folks? We're going to culminate it with the crown jewel, the Blanchards, towing 275, the start of the Elite 10. Who's going to Homestead? Who's going to punch their ticket? Green flag in the air. Barney the flagman waves the green flag. And Jeff Merck, he is going to slide all the way back, already back in the back, got an EOL. So MDW, Matthew David Wood going to have Keith Bradley on his back bumper. Mark Morton going to be with him. And drivers up on the top side, the Joker, Joey Doucette, trying to get a run with Blanchard as they worked away off of turn 2.
And a couple of people got on the inside apron there at the moment there, Jacob, as you said, and as the Eagles will say, take it easy, because you've got 105 laps, gentlemen. So, of course, there's a little bit of a sprint run, but you want the pink animal at the moment is putting a little bit of pressure, but look at that in the outside apron. They're going 2 abreast. We've seen 5 just recently, haven't we, Jacob? But not suggested this early in the race. Get those tire temperatures in there, gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what I would be waiting on. Try to wait until the end of this thing. That's when you're going to really see the 3 and 4 wide. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them go ahead and start jumping out, making some 3 wide moves this early here in this race. I mean, some of those guys try to make some of those advances. You got up front, you got Mark Morton in a very, very familiar number. Got the number 8, kind of throwing back to Dale Earnhardt Jr. back here. Obviously up here with the Budweiser Chevrolet colors, trying to get up here. Lead here at Talladega. That's a familiar sight. Check it out back there, Adam Newton. He's going to get some help from his teammate, I believe it is, Nate Maurer in the 971. Going to try to slide up here and give him a push. They're trying to go to the front. Morton almost gets tagged by the Joker. The Joker going to go to the outside. We're going 3 wide right here on lap 2.
You called it there, Jacob. Well, I didn't think it was going to be this day late dollar short. It's not a day late dollar short. It's a day late dollar early. Look at the battle at the moment. Right on board currently at the moment of Adam Newton, who was right up there, but he got cut off at the moment there by the M machine there for the 16 Chevrolet, and that currently, of course, as you're all aware, is Joey Doucette, the Joker, and they're going to try to give him a bit of a tow. Look at this up the front there, my friend, and you want up front motorsports, and you want swimming. You're swimming in a sea of cars here at Talladega.
Absolutely. I mean, Newton was really trying to hook up with the Joker. Blanchard up here trying to shift lanes. He's went to the bottom. He goes back up to the top. He's trying to go for the lead here at Talladega. MDW, he's going to fall right in behind Mark Morton. Blanchard up top. He's got Pappas to help. Ed Osborne trying to help out Bradley down on the bottom. And don't look now. Here comes the 51 of Brian Chu up into the mix. He's got some teammates behind him. Bauer gets tagged. Tags Newton. The teammates get tagged up. No caution now. The caution comes out. Adam Newton, the Bulldog, spinning going into the infield.
There it is, Jacob. 3 into 1, unfortunately, did not work. We've got a couple of laps under there of some fantastic racing. We'll go back and have a look exactly what happened there. It's definitely the Newton machine, wasn't it? And just as I took the camera off, the GoPro camera on top of the machine, this is what happened, Jacob.
Absolutely. You'll see it right here. There you see Newton right there looking to the inside of the Joker. You see Blanchard took a shot to the inside. Morton made the block. Blanchard goes back up top, slides up in front of Pappas. But right here is where all hell ends up kind of breaking loose. Right here with Brian Chu. He's going to get up here and give just a little bit of a snudge, I guess you could say, or a smudge or a budge or whatever. and ends up getting into Pappas just a little bit. It kind of knocks him out just a little bit. It just kind of knocks him a little sideways. Pappas checks up, and then you had Maurer all up in the back bumper of Newton, ends up tagging him just a little bit slightest the wrong way, hit him just too hard. He goes up, he gets into Maurer. Merck, ironically enough, who had the EOL before the start of the race, Jeff Merck ends up getting involved as well, but the driver that got the worst end of the stick is the Bulldog, Adam Newton, who's going down pit road right now. And right now, your leader being Mark Morton. Dean, I've got a feeling we're probably going to see everybody go down pit road right here when pit road opens.
Yeah, what do you think there, Jacob? We'll get that little track map at the moment that I get an idea where everybody is. Of course, you can see the little puzzle poppers and all the sponsors that we have this evening. Of course, the biggest sponsor we have is the towing. And you want Blanchard's towing, my friend, if your car's broken down on the motorway, but you don't want your car to be broken down on the Talladega Speedway, do you? And if you do, I guess Blanchard's towing we'll get there and get that on the back of the truck, my friend, and tow you back into pit road. As you're going to see, let's see whether or not Mark Morton makes that decision, Jacob, to head in there.
Yeah, I mean, I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of them that's going to be heading down pit road right here, obviously just going in. Top it off with fuel to be able to make it to the end. You do see a couple actually back there going to stay out. Take that chance. Looks like Brandon Broadfoot, one of those drivers that is going to elect to stay out on the racetrack. Another driver that's going to stay out, that's going to be Eric Zimmerman. So really only two drivers really staying out on the racetrack right now, Zimmerman and Broadfoot. Those drivers staying out. Everybody else coming in. There you see the splash of fuel going in to these trucks. It's like Morton's going to be able to beat them out. Coming off of pit road, MDW going to be right behind him. Blanchard, Pappas, Bradley, Chew, and Thomas, and Doucette. That's the top 10 as they come off of pit road. And folks, while we have a moment right here, while we have a break in action, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Let you hear from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
For Murph's Magical Creations, home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Folks, there you saw some of our great ads. Obviously, Murph's Magical Creations. We'll talk about those guys in just a second. But the very first ad you saw, obviously, Premier Racing Setups. You need one, you know where to go. PremierRacingSetups.com. Go enter that code for a discount code of NASRA, N-A-S-R-A. Get that 15% off your entire order, and also 15% gets kicked back to the North American Sim Racing Association. And folks, if you want to race the setups that the Redneck Announcer races here, even at Talladega, you want to try to get the best speed that you possibly can out of your setups, go check them out, PremierRacingSetups.com. And also Murph's Magical Creations, big deal for them, because Murph's Magical Creations, they are magically creating the laser engraved trophy here this evening, Dean. That's what we're hearing from some of the producer or from some of the higher ups within NASRA. So that laser engraved trophy, I should say, for the Blanchards 275. That is what they will end up receiving at their home. Hopefully, they won't have to pay for the shipping and the handling. But also, got a viewer out there on the live chat wanting to know if there is a Discord to this group. Check it out right there, buddy. Yeah. He's got it in there. He's got the link in there. Dean hooked you up, so go check out that link right there in the description. and get yourself, try to get lined up to race out here with some of the best that Nazareth has to offer, and also iRacing has to offer. Dean, I already had a caution. We've already seen the crazy stuff, and all hell can break loose here at Talladega. All these drivers noticed that very, very early on in this race. What you think? You think they're going to keep beefing it up? You think they're going to keep door banging, all that crazy stuff, or are we going to calm down a little bit?
Well, if they're if we're up in the booth at the moment there, Jacob, there's door banging. I guarantee it right now. But the key thing at the moment, the two drivers that stayed out, the number 10 and 94, they're the ones in P1 and P2. That's Brandon Bradford and Eric. That's 12 and 24 positions gained. But everybody else went down there and got a splash and dash or some tires or not there, Jacob. But will they be sitting ducks as we're about to go green with Barney soon? And I hope that's all good for you out there in the chat. You ask, you shall receive. Jacob, who shall we receiving the fantastic award this evening?
We'll see what happens as here we go. Broadfoot up front with Zimmerman. Zimmerman took the top side. Green flags in the air. We're back underway. Zimmerman, he has got no help literally back there until MDW decides to slide up. Gets up on his tailgate. Phil Pappas, hell, he's got nobody up his tailgate. Front three guys got no help. Now Broadfoot's going to jump up here. He's going to try to get him some. Morton's going to try to get him some. Here comes Brian Chew, Blanchard, everybody wanting to get some very early as Pappas looked three wide there for a second, but MDW kind of shut the door from the outside lane. Brian Chew, he's thinking three wide. A lot of them thinking three wide very early on in stage number one.
And you mentioned that, Jacob, that Brandon's down currently at the moment, hovering around P5. And you'd have to still, Eric's still holding it at the moment. The man didn't go to the pit road at the moment, but he may be eating alive. MDW in the lead of this one there. Mark Morton's now taking that place. Eric still holding on tight here. 8 of 105. 98 to go there, Jacob. It's Talladega.
Oh, yeah, baby. We got a long way to go here this evening, MDW. Up on the top side, trying to get that help from Mark Morton. Both of these drivers may end up having to work together right here, Dave, because both of them knows they need to get all the stage points they can to be able to make it into that next round. Keith Bradley's going to make a third lane up there on the top side. Got Ed Osborne going with him, as well as Taylor Peacock knows how to get around here at Talladega. Front two drivers get clear. Morton was clear for just a second on Zimmerman, but now Zimmerman gets back to the left rear. MDW is still clear. Well, he jumped down, tried to make the block. Chew trying to stay with Morton, but don't look now. The animal Keith Bradley comes, as now here comes Morton. He hangs him out to dry. Mark Morton goes to the lead, and Keith Bradley's going to shoot up the outside. Three wide for second with Bradley up top. MDW in the middle, and Zimmerman down on the bottom. Now the outside starts to fade.
They call him an animal for a reason there, because he's not an animal, even though he's dressed in pink. He's getting the job done. He's going to get a good push there on the outside there, Jacob. He may get MDW. That's nose to tail, and we've seen 4 wide across the line here at Talladega before, but it's think about stage breaks at this point. But Keith Bradley may have an edge in this one. The animal in the lead.
How about that? Hell of a drive by the pink animal, Keith Bradley. We're going to quit calling him the pink animal, Dean. We're just going to go with animal. But Keith Bradley down on the bottom side, MDW right in front, or right behind him, I should say. There comes Ed Osborne. He knows how to get it done at Talladega, too. A man right behind him, Peacock, and Chew right behind him as well. Both of these drivers know how to get it done. Familiar faces we're seeing at the front in the early stages here at Talladega, Dean. Very familiar faces and very experienced faces out of these drivers. Ed Osborne jumped up, tried to make the block. Peacock thought he was going to try to go for the lead, but now he's going to shove Osborne. Osborne goes to the lead on the outside. It's side by side for second with Bradley and Peacock, but now Bradley fighting hard on the inside. He's got MDW and Morton trying to give him the shove. 2 wide for the lead, as it looks like old Scoop, Stephen Thomas, going to poke out. Trying to go 3 wide with Blanchard right behind him.
Yeah, the old Steve Thomas says, okay, anything you can do. Keith Bradley, remember, let that outside lane currently running on board right now. Steve Thomas, he's currently running P9. But guess what? If you get a nice little toe there, let's have a look at the rear wing. Yes, thank you very much. I'll have a push there. And when push comes to shove there, Jacob, it could be good on the high line, but you need to work together. That's what these drivers are doing. Fantastic racing. Plenty of racing to go, of course, before our stage break. But here we go there, Jacob. Ed Osborne still leading.
Yeah, I'm telling you, baby, they're spicing it up big time back here, just outside the top 10. Phil Pappas thinking about it, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Jump up in front of old Scoob. Try to go to the front on the outside. Bullock thinking about making a shot up there on the outside. Not able to do it. Pappas gets the run. He's up to Chew's door. He's going to get up to Peacock's door if he keeps on. And Dean, I'm going to tell you, he keeps on messing around right here. He might find himself in the lead. Pappas done the right thing, made the move. 3 wide for the lead here at Talladega. Keith Bradley on the bottom. Ed Osborne in the middle. Pappas up top. Scoob behind Pappas, Peacock behind Osborne, and MDW behind Bradley. Now Pappas squirts out to the front. He's going to take the lead, jump down in front of Ed Osborne, as now it's 3 wide once again for the lead, Dean.
Jacob, you understand at this point, when you're racing nose to tail like this, and you're sucked in like a vacuum cleaner, there's side draft, there's back draft, there's draft everywhere, and one little tiny mistake, it's coordination, it's concentration to its finest. And when you go switching, rowing like that, which lane you want to choose, all of a sudden everybody else has to correspond with that one. And remember, that whole dirty air can just throw your truck around tooth and nail. Brilliant driving there, Jacob. And coordination. Well, I'll tell you what, we have the best drivers on the planet, don't we, here at the NASRA Network. Welcome along to the C.O.P.S series.
We got a little bit of a blinking issue back there with Stephen Thomas. Kind of blinking out just a little bit. Might have scared Blanchard. Blanchard gets out of the gas. Thomas jumps down right in front of Brandon Bullock, so it's going to be 2 wide all the way back through the field. We'll see who decides to jump out of line and try to make that move that Pappas made earlier on to be able to go around the outside and take Scoob with him, but Scoob wasn't able to fall in line. I mean, Scoob wasn't able to go, but Shaggy was, son. Shaggy took it all the way to the front. Now, Ed Osborne jumps down to the bottom. Peacock, Taylor Peacock in the 81 knows how to get it done here. Very experienced right here on this outside lane with both of those drivers, Peacock and Chew. Both of them knows how to get it done here at Talladega and also even at Daytona. Peacock up on the top, Chew right behind him. Osborne got Pappas with him. Side by side, bumper to bumper, door to door for the lead down the backstretch. Pappas gets a little bit out of shape. Bradley had to get out of the gas. That's going to help that outside lane. Looks like Peacock may end up getting it. Whoa, he tried to come down, not able to do it. And now Ed Osborne is going to retake the lead. Peacock going to get hung out to dry in the middle lane.
Yeah, I jumped on board a little bit too late on that one. You can see the Mythical Magical Creations currently at the moment, their machine going through there. That's the 29, of course, there of Keith Bradley. And just like that, my friend, he's tucked in, and they've all gone essentially one abreast here. And you can look at the background there, Jacob. I might have to go switch another camera there. We can have 4 abreast, Jacob. No, we can't have that too early, right? Day late, dollar short. This is amazing.
Nah, you can't. I mean, and you know, honestly, you know, the contact that Peacock had was just a bad bump by Brian Chew, but check it out. Now we got a battle for the lead. And Osborne down on the bottom. Pappas got no help. He's waiting on Morton. He's trying to get Morton up here. Morton says, not today, baby. He's going to go to the top. He's going to take Blanchard with him. Morton hung him out. Morton almost gets tagged in the back end. 3 wide back there for the 4th spot. Everybody fanning out, getting crazy right here in Talladega, Alabama. Is MDW going to jump up in front of Pappas? Ed Osborne still has the lead with Bradley behind him, Peacock behind him as well. But MDW and Pappas trying to make a run up here. And also, Brandon Bullock trying to get up here on this outside lane. But it looks like that far outside lane is fixing to dissipate. It looks like he's going to the back.
And this is an absolutely brilliant racing course. We're 17 down, only one little caution at the moment there, Jacob, which is fantastic at the Superspeedway of Talladega, of course. Shake and bake it. And what are you thinking at the moment? And drivers at the moment sometimes are either in their team chats at the Discord, of course, the Discord link or posted there earlier there, Jacob. But have you ever, I'd imagine, what's the concentration going through your head? Some drivers actually listen to a broadcast and they're shouting in the area going, and they're going around the outside. It's Keith Bradley and MDW going for a side-by-side. Well, that's going to put your concentration levels to the roof.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what's going through these guys' mind is they're thinking about everything. They're looking in the mirror. They're talking to their teammates, especially if they're in their team chat. Some guys don't even like to do that, honestly, Dean. Some guys want to go out there and be that lone wolf and not really be around anybody, not be, you know, in a chat and not hear all that that's going on. So a lot of guys want to be the lone wolf and try to be their own, just race their own race, which is possible. But if they are, then they want it real quiet in there. They don't want nothing to try to scare them, try to distract them in any way, shape, fashion, or form. As MDW able to jump down in front of Ed Osborne, take the lead. Pappas and Blanchard going to try to make the run on the top side. But Dean, that's what I'm getting at. Everybody's basically on pins and needles right now, especially with some of these very aggressive moves that we're seeing. Guys going 3 wide, bad bumps, a lot of, over-aggression and anxious guys trying to get up here to the front. And one man, you see him up top, 2 drivers actually up here on the top side. Both of them got caught up in their first crash of the evening. Jeff Merck and Adam Newton as we get another one. Merck gets involved. Raul Meza, Peacock, Brian Chu, all of them getting involved. Caution on the speedway.
Well, we're just going to Jeff Merck up that high line that you mentioned there, and push comes to shove, it went all pearl-shaped. But we did get some fantastic green flag racing. We'll go back and have a look at that one real quick there, Jacob, because I believe it may have started around where Raul was. So we'll kind of collaborate that one. But the telemetry tells you one thing. The cameras tell us another.
Yeah, we're going to see right here Raul Meza going to be in that middle lane. All this happens coming off of turn number 2. And, Dean, I've looked at this already about 2 or 3 times, so there is a driver that I would love to see. Matter of fact, maybe 2 drivers. Not real sure about one of them, but I know about one of them. But watch Meza right here in this middle lane. I think he actually gets a little loose right here coming off of turn 2. It ends up coming down the racetrack. It ends up coming down into Peacock. There was net code involved. Peacock gets right rear hook. Merritt goes into the wall. Meza ends up getting up in the air. Ends up literally getting up in the air. There you see all 4 wheels coming up off of the racetrack. There you see Stephen Thomas. Thomas, one of those drivers that went all the way down to the bottom. There you see Robbie Richards end up sliding through it. He was another driver that I was wanting to see if we could go on board with the 48 of Robbie Richards. Go check him out. And also another one being Adam Newton afterwards, because Adam Newton was right there in the middle of it, as you see. But, if we could ride on board with Robbie Richards and then after that, Adam Newton, that would be awesome to see.
We'll go to Robbie Richards first, my friend. You ask and you shall receive. On board, Robbie Richards. And let's have a look at this one, sir.
So you're riding on board with Robbie Richards down here on the bottom, which, Dean, when they get like 3 wide like that, be honest with you, the bottom side is the safer side, especially when all hell breaks loose. There you see the contact, the smoke, and then at that point, you can go below the yellow line. Just go as low as you possibly can. You are allowed to go below the yellow line even if you improve your position. You can go down there to be able to try to miss a wreck. They look at it as far as like if you're trying to advance your position to try to pass somebody, that's when you end up getting the black flag. What Robbie Richards, Stephen Thomas, all these drivers are doing is completely legal. It's 100% fine. And wow, he missed it by an inch. Thomas missed it by an inch because Peacock was coming back, trying to hit him in the tailgate. And ironically enough, I'm trying to watch Adam Newton, and hell, he blanks out coming through 1 and 2, and then by the time he reappears, he was through the wreck. So I don't know how that worked out, but check out Thomas. Thomas in a different spot all the way up top, and then slides down. He's got all this going on right here in front of him. How in the hell he does not get involved in this? Barely tagged the back end of Robbie Richards.
Wow.
I think it ended up giving it back to him. But how the hell he didn't get up in the middle of that right there is beyond me.
Bit of luck, my friend. Bit of lady luck. Some drivers got on the pit road. And we will get back to you very, very shortly at the moment there, Jake, because once again, I forgot those racing setups you use. What are they called again?
Yeah.
We'll find out.
I don't know. Yeah, just check them out right here. Folks, we're back here at Talladega after our second caution of the event. More or less, I guess you could say it was the big one compared to the rest of the first wreck, I should say. Looks like we're fixing to double them back up and get back out here on the racetrack. Jeff Merck still sitting down pit road. He's going to go a lap down with Meza. So Merck may end up having some serious issues.
Jeff Merck, that's not the correct way to put
60.
the car into the pit road. That's going to be very hard for the pit crew, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean,
Jeff?
I think he's actually inside the box. So, I mean, I think he's able to try to be able to get it done. But
So you're saying box now. So am I correct in saying a pit stop's a box there, Jacob, finally?
Well, you're wearing on me, Dean. You're wearing on me. You really are. You're wearing on me. He is in his box.
Thank you.
He is boxed correctly.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're wearing on me, baby. You really are. You're wearing on me. But here we go, folks. I mean, we got a little bit of time left. Obviously, lap 22 of 105. Still got a long way to go here this evening.
And a short way to get there.
Yes, long way to go and a short time to get there. Matter of fact, I saw that movie earlier.
I knew you were gonna go there, my friend.
Well, yes, but yes, I saw that movie today, Smokey and the Bandit. I saw that extra today. Well, I went over and saw my dad. We watched that race, I'm watching a race now, and I watched the movie with him. That's what I'm trying to say. But got to see him. Went over and spent some time with him today. We watched Smokey and the Bandit. And if you've never seen the movie, any of you out there in the live chat, shout out to all 22 of you out there in the live chat. If you've never seen the movie Smokey and the Bandit, never seen it, you got to watch it uncut. You watch it, if you watch it edited, it ain't worth a damn. I'll just go ahead and tell you right now. But I tell you what, Dean, we've never done this. We'll do it like this as we're getting ready for a restart with Pappas and MDW up on the front row. If you have seen the movie Smokey and the Bandit, throw it out there in the live chat. Let us know your favorite quote out of that movie. Let us know your favorite quote out of that movie. Throw it out there in the live chat, and we'll read some here live on the air this evening. Phil Pappas, MDW up front. Pace truck is off. Blanchard and Osborne. Martin, that's the top five as they hit the Geico restart zone. And Phil Pappas gonna stand on the throttle. Chris Blanchard, I think he ended up maybe not getting on the gas as much as Pappas was. He ends up leaving him, but obviously the draft will pull Blanchard back into it. MDW, there you see him up on the top side trying to come down, trying to get some side draft. Here comes Martin. Here comes Osborne. Here comes Bradley. Here comes Newton. Here they all coming down the backstretch.
I love it. And you know what? If you want to, we could perhaps subscribe there to get an Australian version of Smoking the Bandit there. It's like, yeah, that's right. He's got his car left to the right there and stuff like that. Yeah, get on the gasoline. And Dawn Merck's out there saying, oh, come on. I hope you stop come on to the how bad my accent is to the Smokey the Bandit. But you know what? Smokey the Bandit, if you want a long way to go and get that shine across you want to get that little shine trophy, my friend. That's the trophy they want, isn't it? That's the one to be presented here this evening by the Blanchard's Towing. So give them a push. Comes to shove, MDW Lindley.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they want to go for that trophy just like Smokey and the Bandit was trying to go for that $80,000, trying to get rid of the beer that they were getting from Texarkana. And right now, all of them hauling ass around Talladega like they are carrying 400 cases of illegal Coors. Now MDW up front, Osborne behind him, Bradley up on the top side as well as Morton. Down on the bottom side, not a whole lot of help. Pappas, Blanchard down here trying to get something going. Robbie Richards and Adam Newton, ironically enough, both of those drivers are working together as wow, got a little bit of contact back there. One driver jumped down. I believe that may have been Huck Wigginton, and the 00 jumped down in front of Newton. But one thing I was going to say about that, Dean, there you see that, or you did see it with Newton and those drivers, is we see that Osborne jumping down, take the lead of this race. Got one driver coming off of pit road right now. And I do believe that is Jeff Meza. I believe it's Meza. Yes, Raul Meza jumps out of line. Pappas gets knocked sideways, but he's able to keep it straight. Now, Blanchard all over his back bumper. A lot of help up on the top side. MDW may be going for the lead coming off of turn 4.
And look at that, 35, 25
Crash
now.
in the back.
Oh.
Crash in the back. Brian Chew tries to get it straightened out in the 51 Peacock back there as well. No caution on the speedway as MDW going for the lead up front.
I was going to say there, Jacob, before the drivers rudely interrupted us with those crashes. Sorry, drivers. It happens. 35, Jacob. So the 10 laps is a sprint. What position would you like to be in? MDW, Ed Osborne, Phil Pappas, Keith Bradley. What would be your best bet here to take stage 1 victory?
If I wanted to take stage 1 right now, I'm looking at either Pappas or Bradley. I'm looking at their situations. I sure as hell ain't looking at Osborne's because he's going to the back, son. Now Bradley makes a fantastic move. Shoved MDW all the way to the front and hangs him out to dry and drops it down low side. He's going to go to the lead. Pappas into his tailgate. Blanchard into his. You got Bullock in his tailgate as well. Broadfoot up here as well. A lot of drivers up here going for it right here with 10 laps to go. Is MDW going to get hung out? Blanchard and Morton trying to work together. And Pappas with Broadfoot behind him. They're all chasing the pink animal. Keith Bradley in the number 29 is Blanchard starting to make a run on that top side.
I thought you said we were going to call him Pink Animal anymore, but that doesn't really matter. Chris Blanchard, of course, the sponsor of the Blanchard's Towing 275. Wouldn't it be fantastic for him to get this race victory? And I'll tell you what, he may have a little bit of a nose ahead currently at the moment of Keith Bradley, as he's going to go side by side. And in chances of anybody else going 3 abreast, to time is to shine, because you're getting down to the dying stages of stage 1. Oh, the animal versus the towers of towers, the sponsors of sponsors. This is going to be fantastic there, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, Dean, I mean, yeah, I did say that we wasn't going to call him the pink animal anymore, but hell, it ends up sticking after a while eventually, especially when he keeps running the pink car. But up front, Blanchard trying to get a shove. He gets one, but it wasn't good enough. Morton may have to try to line it back up, re-rack it, restack it, and try it again. Morton trying to give Blanchard the shove. Bradley down on the bottom side. He's got Pappas behind him, Broadfoot behind him. Ed Osborne, who's been doing a fantastic job riding around up here at the front of the field. Brandon Broadfoot, folks, he started 26th. He's down there on the bottom side. And one driver that we haven't talked a whole lot about started 19th. Ozzy, oi, oi, oi. Got Ashley Dodson up on the top side, the Outback Kid. And now Ed Osborne's son, he's going to jump up in front of him. May end up going 3x3 here with about 6 trucks here in a second, Dave. But Ashley Dodson made a very aggressive move. Had on Scoob, Stephen Thomas right behind him, as they're trying to make a little bit of headway up on the top side.
It's time to shine at the top side, I'd say, at the moment there. As you can see, Ed Osborne, we're riding on board with, he's getting a push at the moment from the Aussie. And now they've tucked in. They've tucked in there, Jacob. So you got to be bold and brave to go on that one, and they'll get left to dry. And Joey Doucette is on the 16, top of the apron there. So Chris Blanchard is just on the nose. It's about who's behind you there, isn't it, Jacob? Who's going to give it a push? Somebody is gambling up on the outside apron. And I tell you what, Jacob, it may be the time to go as the 00 machine elects to go up on the high side. You either get left for dry, or you basically, as you went to school there, but picking when somebody picks you for a team. Well, there you go. Who are you picking for a team at the moment in the audience to win this one?
I mean, honestly, Dean, if I had to pick somebody, I'm thinking of somebody that is that I can trust, that I have seen do a lot of races here in the Superspeedway aspect of things. That would be the drivers that I would really want on my tailgate to be able to try to help me out there. You see right there, got 6 laps to go, 5 this time. We do have a lap truck they are catching. That is Jeff Merck way down on speed, way up against the wall. They were looking 3 wide there for a second, but he goes way up on the top side. Everybody's able to get away. Blanchard trying to make a run on the top side. He's got MDW right behind him, and now Blanchard gets the run. He may end up overtaking his teammate, the animal, pink animal, Keith Bradley, down on the bottom side. As Blanchard gets him at the line by about 2/100ths of a second. But Bradley gonna fight hard back on the inside. It's not over yet, not by a long shot right here. And this is only stage 1 here at Talladega.
It's Talladega, baby. Of course, shake it bake. It's brilliant racing at its finest. And I tell you what, it's going to come down to Chris Blanchard and Keith Bradley if they don't do anything. Of course, don't take out MDW there and Phil Pappas. It could go anywhere, but anywhere that went up that outside apron there, of course, with that lap truck, that would have just destroyed their possibilities. They had to tuck in. But guess what? 31 laps are going to turn to 32, 33, and guess what? 35, stage break. Let's see.
Yeah, not a whole lot of time for some of these guys back here trying to start to make some moves. A lot of drivers may end up just wanting to just hang tight and hang loose because they never know. I mean, you never know what's going to happen right here within the next 4 laps. Blanchard's still trying to get the run on the top side. MDW is still trying to work with him. A couple of drivers has actually drifted back, like Ashley Dodson has slid way back here, all the way to the back of this line. He's got Bullock back there with him. Hagan all just trying to hold on to that draft. Rest of these drivers, they've kind of got hung out and they're gone. Brian Chew, Cody Knott, Taylor Peacock, all these drivers, Eric Zimmerman, all these guys kind of hanging back and staying loose. And even Dean Doucette, the Dean of Deans. Dean, ironically, I should say it like that. He's way back here with Casey Mink, back here in the 21st spot. They're just kind of just staying clear of everything. They're not going to go a lap down before it's all said and done, but they're ways away from anything that ends up happening. It's Blanchard trying to get down in front of Bradley, but Bradley's not going to give it up, son. Bradley wants to get stage 1 as we got 3 to go before this thing's all said and done for stage 1.
I'm telling you what, Jacob, if there are the teammates behind them or anybody, it's everybody wants to give either Keith, the 29 machine, or Chris Blanchard, the 9 machine, a race win, well, at least a stage break win here. And that's it. You got to be working together, isn't it? Because you're going to be absolutely mad to go diving on the outside there at any point there. I think it's either going to be roll the dice at the moment or roll the roulette wheel. Is it? Are you gambling on pink or red? That is a question out for you in the chat. Go, Keith, go is what we're getting. So there it is. Keith Bradley has got the go, 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 but it's so close, Jacob. Final lap of the stage break.
Now we got 2 to go right here, Dean. The pits just got closed. So on lap 35, it's going to be the last lap of stage number 1. But we already see a couple of guys trying to make some crazy moves. Thomas jumps up to the top side. Ed Osborne looked like he was going to go with him. Osborne said, I'll take the middle side. Thomas going to go back. Joey Doucette going to line up. Newton's going to line up. A lot of them going around Stephen Thomas as they work their way off of turn 4, looking for 1 more lap to go in stage number 1.
This is it. I'm telling you what, I think both these drivers deserve it, right? Well, maybe not guarantee that, Jacob, but a car that ends in a 9 may win the first stage break. And I tell you what, you gotta get the pink animal, of course, or the man himself that sponsors this absolutely fantastic event. Either way, I want either to win. In fact, I want anybody to win, really, the other day there, Jacob. But somebody has to win, and Chris may be in a little bit of trouble here, Jacob.
Well, I think what he was doing, he was trying to drift back a little bit, maybe get to the front bumper of MDW. Ed Osborne trying to come up here, give the shove to MDW, and he give the shove to Blanchard. Ed Osborne thinks differently. He jumps up with a joker. They may end up making a run when it's all said and done right here, but coming off of turn 4 for the final time in stage number 1, Blanchard does have a run.
It'll be a
the
wreck.
Animal Keith Bradley, we got a big wreck behind us. Caution is out. Robbie Richards is going to get involved in it big time, knock the whole front end off the truck, and that will end stage number 1. The question is, who was out front when the caution came out?
Oh, I don't
know. From what we're showing, we're thinking it may be the Animal Keith Bradley. Both of them showing expressed interest that both of them was at the front, Dean.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens right here, but I do think the Animal Keith Bradley got it.
That was tight because looking at that one, they switched to Rue on that dying stage to that stage break, my friend. So we'll have to go back and have a look at the replay on this one, and we're going to have to really slow this down and zoom in at... don't worry about the wreck behind, of course. That just happens. Day late, dollar short. This is going to be close, Jacob. Now, I could show you the start-finish camera here, and you're going to have to decide this for yourselves. There's Barney. Let's see. I don't know if I can pause this right on time there, Jacob, but see if you can get and ignore the fact that Keith Bradley may be the winner or not. This is going to be close.
Well, Dean, they had already threw the caution and the field is frozen, so they wasn't going to race back to the line. But from what I am showing, Keith Bradley is ahead of Chris Blanchard.
He called it.
So Bradley will end up getting that stage number 1 win. We'll chat with him here in just a little bit. But, Dean, I do want to go back to the caution as of what happened. And it was Robbie Richards in the number 48. Had a little bit of a contact. There you see right there up to the top right of your screen. If we could slide back a little bit, you will see that there was contact between Richards and Adam Newton. Ironically enough, both of these drivers, they've had some beef, Dean. Both of these drivers have had beef. But this was all Robbie right here. Robbie comes down, a little bit of a checkup, slides up. There was net code that was involved. But Adam Newton ends up tagging him in the right rear. And then Richards goes for a hard shot right up into the wall, collects the Joker. Joey Doucette, Adam Newton trying to get it going. And there's Spice-Man. Chris Cinnamon locks it down, son. And then Robbie almost had him coming backwards. But the animal, Keith Bradley, ends up beating him off of pit road. And he is your stage number 1 winner. We'll see if we can grab a quick word with the animal, Keith Bradley, if I can find him, which there he is. Bring up the animal, pink animal, I should say, Keith Bradley. And we got him up here, your stage 1 winner, Keith Bradley. Keith, congratulations on that stage 1 win, buddy. There for a second, we didn't know who ended up winning stage 1. We didn't know if it was you or Blanchard.
I didn't know either until it told me to pass him. So, hey, we got it. We got some playoff points. We got some added bonus points there for the playoffs. So,
absolutely. I mean, and that's something that you got to be able to do. I mean, I was thinking about this, talked to a lot of drivers about this. And a lot of drivers were sitting there saying that they just wanted to survive. A lot of them was wanting to come up here, be aggressive, try to win. Which mentality are you thinking right here?
Honestly, it's been fairly calm. I'm kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If it starts getting too crazy, you know my mentality. I'd rather be there at the end. But if it's calm enough to where I can pace myself up here, I'll stay up here. But when it starts getting wild, I'm out.
Keith Bradley as well too. You are battling it so hard with Chris Blanchard, but he's not even in the playoff standings currently at the moment there. So, did you just enjoy that fantastic fight with the sponsor, of course, for this evening here for the C.O.P.S Truck Series?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Hats off to Blanchard for keeping it really clean. Honestly, I think all of it's been fairly clean so far. There's a little give and take with the playoff guys. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, Keith, you just ain't been back there running right outside the top 10. That's where all hell ends up breaking loose. But Keith, appreciate your time. Congratulations on that stage 1 win. And hell, who knows? We may be talking to you when this thing's all said and done.
Yeah, I hope so. Big shout out to Murph's Magical Creations.
Yeah.
Helping out Huck again this week and possibly next week also, maybe till the end of the season. So big shout out to them guys.
All right, guess what we're going to do there, Jacob? We're going to go to the fantastic sponsor of that 29 machine. You can see him shaking the wheel there. Yeah. Keith Bradley. And pay attention. Murph's Magical Creations creates the 29 machine to get the stage break win.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We're back at Talladega. We get Keith Bradley back over there in the Upfront Motorsports chat. A couple of drivers decided to stay out right here, Dean. May have went on a little bit of a different strategy, tried to flip the stage, which is something different. We usually don't see that here at Talladega. But Eric Zimmerman and Brandon Broadfoot, both of those drivers done the exact same thing that they did. So both of them's going to be up front. Then you got Bradley, you got Blanchard behind them. You got MDW and Phil Pappas right behind them. Then you got Morton, Dane Hagan, Cody Knott. Pretty good drive by that number 26 up here, Cody Knott. Up here with Brandon Bullock, that is the top 10. Pace truck is off. Zimmerman is the control car on the top side. Broadfoot, Hagan way back. Green flag in the air. And we are back underway for stage number 2 of the Blanchards towing 275 here at Talladega. Zimmerman gets a fantastic jump, gets out front, and here comes Blanchard. He's going to get the shove from MDW, and here comes Bradley up top trying to go with him.
I was going to say to you, Jacob, because Eric stayed out, my friend. He boxed back at lap 20. Everybody else boxed on lap 36, so he may be in big trouble. He's in big trouble. He's already down in P4 and getting eaten alive. Perhaps that staying out and all that, he's just dropping like a stone, my friend. That's not because he's a slow driver. It's just because the tires, my friend, or the gas, whatever it is. It's hard, but, you know, stay in there, my friend. It could be a wreck, and you can get another caution and see it is, but guess what? Chris Blanchard wants to resume this battle that he lost earlier, and it's not over yet until stage 2 break.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's never over till the fat lady sings. Way I look at it, Dean, is there you see Zimmerman trying to jump up, almost a little bit of door banging between him and Dane Hagen. Hagen had his foot in it, kept his foot in it. He had Morton behind him. Zimmerman dropping like a rock right now. Nobody wanting to work with that number 94. Spice-Man Chris Cinnamon, he goes by. Peacock goes by. Osborne goes by. Everybody hanging him out. Even Brian Chew in the 51. He's going to hang him out to dry. Brandon Bullock back here may end up getting a shot, and now we got a caution. We're probably going to get one. Hagen, Zimmerman, Morton. Now the caution comes out.
This could work out, actually, quite well for Eric, although Eric was involved in that wreck. I think that, Jacob. So he needed that to happen a little bit earlier, perhaps because he can get in there and equalize that, and perhaps it could have paid out. If he, to me, if he stayed out another lap or two, right, survived really more than anything, because they're eating him alive, either on tires or whatever after that race restart. He just needed to hang in there. Unfortunately, he didn't, and he's going to drop back down to P17. But I don't know whether the driver's going to go back in the pit road, Jacob, because we just had everybody coming in and out of pit road.
Well, I mean, there's a possibility that you may end up seeing a bunch of them maybe go down, Dean, you know, just to be on the safe side. But we'll go back and look at Eric Zimmerman. And really, I mean, it wasn't Zimmerman that causes this crash. You already see a couple of drivers already going around. Adam Newton was up there, but it was the 39.
39.
Dane Hagen, you're going to see him right there. He will end up trying to cut down in front of Zimmerman and probably end up trying to give Zimmerman some help, which Zimmerman didn't get no help from about 10 of them right there from the restart. But then you'll see Hagen. Hagen's going to jump down. Zimmerman already getting a run, sliding up into this middle lane. Hagen's going to jump down and try to come across his nose and try to slide in this hole.
There.
But the hole checked up. Spice-Man checked up. Hagen checks up. Zimmerman gets into him. Then Zimmerman tries to steer it down. Ends up getting up into Morton. And there you see Adam Newton back there. Newton's going to get involved in this just a little bit. His night goes from bad to worse. He gets into Hagen. So hopefully Newton did not get the meatball flag out of that, because that would be very detrimental, I guess you could say, for his playoff hopes. But there you see, Dean, a lot of guys going in for a little bit of a splashing gas right here. That's pretty much what they're aiming for.
It's going to be a battle out of pit road, actually, because it looked like the first person, maybe Chris, come in and out, and then MDW. There's Chris. So then Keith Bradley actually jumped, I think, MDW, if I'm not mistaken. Ed Osborne, Tell the Peacock, the Spice-Man that you predicted to win this one. Sorry, Jacob. So you're going to tell me when to put that camera on that one, Cody Norton, and so forth?
Oh, we may have a little bit of beef on pit road,
I like
Dean.
this, Jacob. What happened?
Very good possibility there is beef on pit road between Zimmerman and Hagen.
Oh.
Both of them came into pit road. Not sure if Hagen maybe just overshot his pit box or what happened. We'll have to back it up.
We're going to do this, Jacob.
Hagen right here go around.
All
right
right
there, Hagen coming in behind Zimmerman. I'm not 100% if this was intentional or not. But Hagen, he overshoots it a little bit right here, and there was a little bit of, I mean, I would think there was probably a little intent.
You're
there.
at pit lane speed here, right? There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's at pit road speed. I don't think anything. And at this point right here, Hagen, he just comes down. Bam! Tags him in the tailgate. Ironically enough, Hagen ends up getting spun off of the front bumper of Zimmerman, but
is that legal?
Maybe this is coincidence, Dean. I mean, I gotta put it that way. There's a possibility that's just a coincidence. You know, that both of them got involved in the caution and both of them getting involved on pit road. But I'm going back and I'm looking right here, and Zimmerman, but he's going to pit road speed limit. I'm looking at it to a certain extent. Actually, he was 5 miles an hour under the pit road speed limit. Hagan was actually going the speed limit. So
I didn't think you could do that in pit road, as we're going to see at the moment. Dane and Adam Newton still in there. Jeff Merckx in there at the moment there. Dawn's out there watching. Hello, Dawn. Yeah, you got a shout out for Jeff Merckx. Don't you count out Jeff Merckx just yet. And Robert Richards got a ton of repairs to go, but Brandon Bradford is leading this one. Well, Jacob, I mean, you got beef, of course, on the Redneck Announcing Network for beef. Is it too soon for firing up the barbecue beef? Pit road beef? I don't expect that very often, Jacob.
No, I mean, you really don't. I mean, it's like I said, I mean, there's a possibility there could have been beef there. My opinion, I think it was really a coincidence, but just because it's how quick it happened, and the coincidence enough that it was both drivers that initiated that last caution. I wouldn't be surprised to see that actually be real beef right there, Dean. So there's a good possibility that it is real beef, but it did look like a coincidence. I mean, I don't know. Shout out there in the live chat. We know we got Flying with Murph out there, obviously Murph with Murph Magical Creations, talking about some of that unicorn power that Keith Bradley, number 29, Pink Animal Machine, has got up under it. So got that unicorn power. And I mean, shout out, to what he had on the hood, Dean. He talked to us about that last week with how that unicorn looked on the hood of the truck. If we can get a shot of that, look at that right there.
Got it, my friend. Yeah.
I mean, holy hell! I mean, have you ever?
What is this? What?
Have you ever seen a unicorn smoking a cigar and have like the skeleton look to it? Have y'all ever seen that? That right there.
Well, I don't have any children, Jacob, and I wouldn't. I mean, little girls and stuff like that, like unicorns. I'm like, don't smoke cigarettes as a unicorn. But see, I mean, believe it or not, Jacob, the unicorn is still a part of the Scottish flag, I believe, or at least a part of the Scottish heritage. So there you go. I'm not sure if Keith Bradley has any heritage back there in Scotland, but there you go. Unicorns are real, Keith Bradley. I don't know if they're smoking cigarettes or not, or cigars, but I tell you what, they'll be smoking Talladega, my friend. They're about to go motor racing again.
I don't know. Honestly, Nate, I don't even know if unicorns are real. I can't even believe in that, to be honest with you, as bad as I gotta say it. But I may be proven wrong. Hell, I may Google it tonight, and they really actually may be real. Never know. But here we go. Race truck off. Barty the flagman.
Green, green, green.
He's got the flag in hand. Brandon Broadfoot up here on the front row. It's the green flag. Blanchard's going to get up into his tailgate, try to give him the shove. And now Pappas trying to get up here. He's got the animal. Keith Bradley got the cigar in the mouth of the power of the unicorn. They're going to work it up on the top side. MDW trying to work on the bottom side as well. But Broadfoot may end up getting through the gears the wrong way, as you see them, both of them, all by themselves. Pappas and Bradley starting to make it work. Now Blanchard jumps up. Chew jumps up. Osborne jumps up. Peacock, Cinnamon, everybody going to the top side. Hanging out Broadfoot and MDW. And Pappas gets hung out. Now up front, Motorsports. Bradley and Blanchard, they're at the front here at Talladega.
We are talking currently at the moment there, Jacob. Look at that, a little bit of a gap difference between the drivers. We had some drivers going into lap 36, some drivers going into lap 41. The 36 drivers, Phil Pappas and Brandon, they're getting kind of a little bit eaten alive, but not that much eaten alive. There's not a huge difference at the moment. In fact, if you got a pink unicorn in a machine like Keith Bradley has. And Keith Bradley and Chris Blanchard. Now, when have we heard that this evening there for the Blanchards towing 275 there, Jacob?
I mean, they've been up front. They've been literally up front all night long, which is where they want to stay. But now we're starting to get a little bit of movement. Broadfoot getting a little bit of help from Phil Pappas on the outside. Chew up there trying to give the help as well. Ed Osborne, Peacock, Sentiment, and now MDW. A lot of them up here. 9 drivers up here in this first pack. Mark Morton trying to see if he can get up here and get with Scoob. Then there you see Huck Wiggins and Cody Knott. Everybody trying to get clawed back up with the front pack, and now we're starting to see some 3 wide. Morton and Scoob, Stephen Thomas, going to work up here on the top side. They're making it work, Dean. Just both of them, just 2 trucks. They're starting to make it work. There you see Brandon Broadfoot. Shout out to the Shake and Bake meme right there with the me on the truck. I want to go fast. That's what he's got on his tailgate right there, folks. And Pappas is wanting to go fast. He's wanting to help him go fast. He's wanting to try to take Brandon Broadfoot to the lead coming off of turn 4.
Yeah, you stole that line away, Shake and Bake. You stole it away from me there, Jacob. But then he had to tuck in. Couldn't get it done. Couldn't get a little bit of a push around the outside. Because it's very difficult, as you mentioned here in Talladega. If you got a whole bunch of cars and trucks that can give you a nice little tow from the Blanchard's towing around Talladega, then you can get the job done. But if they don't, my friend, you get left high and dry on the high dry line. Keith Bradley still leading there, and Brandon Bradford has split up that party. 24 positions game for that number 10 machine. Don't you count him out there yet, Jacob?
No, I mean, Broadfoot's really done a fantastic job to be able to get that number 10 up here to the front. Pappas trying to see if he can work with him. Kind of gets a little out of shape. And Dean, that's one thing, that I forgot to mention about these trucks here at Talladega is there's so much air floating around all the way around these trucks. Obviously, we've experienced that with the duels and the clash and everything else on the Monday Night DSR Electric Truck Series. So we've experienced all this super speedway air that's been floating around all these trucks. Is Morton going to go 3 wide up on the top side? But especially when you get into the sucker hole, which is where Pappas is right now, you got a lot of virtual air. There you see him starting to move around, Dean. That air, believe it or not, it is a simulation, but it will simulate air going around your truck. And it will start to make that truck feel very uncomfortable, especially if you're right in the middle lane. Now it's going to go up to Broadfoot sitting in the lead for that middle lane. Morton up here on the top side, trying to get it done. Bradley's going to squirt out ahead. The 3 wide for second. Broadfoot, now he's going to go up. The 3 wide for third. Pappas, you got Blanchard, you got Morton. All of them trying to go, but now Broadfoot, he's going to squirt out ahead. Everybody's squirting out ahead at this point, Dean.
He cut him off, as I say, he cut him off. You go up the inside, you have to choose a lane. Once you get a little bit of a nose ahead, my friend, it's almost like a horse casting race. You get 1 yard, 2 yards ahead, or a couple of tenths ahead, you've got it. Then you can make a decision of what lane you want. You're controlling the pace of this race at that point, but you've got to get your nose ahead. You've got to get your machine ahead. And at that point, you can stick to a lane, all right? Just like driving the motorway, isn't it, my friend? Just make sure you don't cut somebody off. Please use your indicator. Drive safely. This is motorsport. It's motorsports, but drive safely on the motor speedway.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're not able to use your turn signal, use hand signals. It doesn't matter that you're doing 190 miles an hour. Make sure that you use them. Pappas trying to hold on. He's got Chew trying to give him the shove. Brian Chew, shout out to Brian Chew. I talked about him being very experienced here with these super speedways. And he's went through hell and back. He's got caught up in about 2 or 3 wrecks here this evening. And still up here in that 4th position. Still got a shot right here with stage number 2 closing in on the end of stage number 2. Obviously, there you see it right there, folks. We've already went to lap 35, obviously. We're right here about halfway through stage number 2, give or take. We got about, coming around this time, 20 laps to go. We're 21 to go right now, so we got 20 laps to go this time by. And Brandon Broadfoot has found himself at the front. Bradley trying to give the shove. Blanchard back there as well. Now the top side trying to get some momentum up top. Pappas trying to get going. No, they're going to turn on him. Here comes Bradley. Here comes Blanchard. Everybody going to turn on Broadfoot. Ed Osborne's going to try to jump down and help. Pappas is going to wait and get around Broadfoot as well. Now Blanchard, he's going to get turned. Going into turn number 1, Blanchard gets sent down to the inside. No caution on the speedway as they are 3 wide for second. Maybe 3 wide for the lead as Chew is up top.
You called it, Jacob. You got to keep going, doesn't it? Everybody gets turned. Don't worry about looking in the mirrors. Look forward, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Chew on the outside line, but he's going to be left for dry there. It's all depending on the inside line there. As you can see currently at the moment, the orange and black machine has turned in to cover the pink animal. And the pink animal's not going to be too excited about that one. Look at the eye on their 3 machine. That's the Spice Man. You picked the Spice Man to get spicy and dicey as we're getting closing at the moment there. And Keith goes to the center line there at the moment. He says, okay, Spice Man, give me a boost. Give me a jump. Let's go racing.
Yeah, absolutely. The Spice Man, Chris Cinnamon, has worked his way up into the 2nd spot, started in the 15th spot in this race. One thing I do want to mention, Chris Blanchard did not hit anything when and he ended up getting tagged in the left rear by Phil Pappas. Matter of fact, Blanchard actually came down on top of Pappas, and Pappas had nowhere to go. But Blanchard did not hit anything, so his truck is clean. Bradley gets up front. Here comes another helper. How about this right here? This man got set up into the wall a while ago. The 39, Dane Hagan, trying to get up here and get him some for the lead here at Talladega. Everybody taking a turn at the front, Dean. That's what you love to see with super speedway aspect of racing, is guys being able to come from the back to go to the front. You can only get it at super speedways like Daytona, the new Atlanta, and guess what? Right here in Sweet Home, Alabama, Talladega Super Speedway, Hagan taking a run on the top side. He may end up having the lead before they get off of turn 2.
He can high five at the mathematical machine there at the moment. Keep Bradley and go high five because he's getting the huge toe behind him there, Jacob. And look at that. Now they've got to the center lane. Look at the 23 on the outside there, Jacob. You want some Jersey smoke? You got the 23 machine saying, I want to join this party. This is the best party in town, of course. It's Friday night. It's the C.O.P.S series, Jacob.
Friday night in Talladega, son. That's how that is party time right here about that time in central Alabama. Keith Bradley tries to get up here. He's going to get it clear with a lead. The 3 wide for second. Chris Sediment, Hagan, and now you got Thomas. Now they're going to be 3 wide for the 4th spot as Sediment's able to advance. Hagan's able to advance. Getting very tight, very aggressive movements right here in this little pack. One little slip, and we could end up seeing what happened earlier on when Robbie Richards went head on into the wall. There's a good possibility we may end up seeing that again right here, Dean, as it is tight as all get out up here. 3 wide for second. Thomas up top. Hagan has lost his help. The inside lane is starting to slide back, and now the inside lane, it's going to advance. Broadfoot's going to get up there. Pappas is going to be able to get clear. The Spice Man, Chris Sediman, he's going to be up here with Animal Keith Bradley. Now Broadfoot, he's going to try to go to the top and try to go to the front.
Now I want to ask you how the Animal's controlling this race. He's still dominating this race. He's getting attacked, and he's getting attacked currently at the moment again from Brandon. But he's still holding on. Is it because he's got the allies and the key members at play here? Because every single time everybody's thrown tooth, hammer, and nail currently at the moment at Keith Bradley, he still somehow comes out victorious.
Well, I mean, he's got his teammate for Up Front Motorsports back there with Chris Sediman lined right up at his tailgate. Obviously, he knows Chris is not going to hang him out to dry. Now the outside lane. You got Scoob, Stephen Thomas with Brian Chew. They work around the outside. Peacock on the tail end caboose of that. I should say Ed Osborne, the tail end caboose of that as well. Peacock, he's going to hang him out. He's going to go down to the middle side. Brandon Bullock from 23rd all the way up to 9th has joined the conversation. Hagan has slipped back. At the one point he had the lead, and now he's all the way back here in the battle for the 8th position as they are 3 wide once again for the lead. Scoop, Stephen Thomas, with a little bit of help from his swim teammate on Monday nights. Brian Chew gonna get up here and give him a shove. Up front, down on the bottom, swim up top, and Brandon Broadfoot with Pappas work the middle lane as now Broadfoot slides across the nose of the Animal Keith Bradley. Take Broadfoot to the lead, and Keith Bradley gonna get clear. He wants to get Cinnamon clear, and I got a feeling if Cinnamon can get clear, then we're gonna end up seeing up front try to go back up front, no pun intended.
I think you're right. I think it's a matter of shutting down the Animals, and it's shut the Animal down. Because if Keith is leading this one, you're going to block him in there somehow. Keith's going to take a chance on the outside at the moment there. Will he get a little bit of a push from the Spiceman? He will. That's going to be the key, isn't it? This is where you get your teammates and your allies to help you out there, Jacob, because, you know, it's tough driving at these speeds and millimeters of decisions between there's a huge wreck or you are still in this race. And somehow at the moment, the Animal has the family, and he has everybody else to help him out. They're trying their best. 3 abreast to get there, Jacob. 57, 49 to go. Stage break coming up soon.
57, a perfect number for the redneck announcer, folks. Obviously, that's my number on Monday night. Talked a little bit about that at Bristol as to why I run the 57. But, I mean, awesome number to see right there for lap number 57. As they are 3 wide up here at the front, and everybody trying to get all that they can get. Keith Bradley keeping that bottom side. He's got these up front Motorsports teammate, Chris Sentiment, lined up with him. Pappas has got Peacock up his tailgate. They're trying to get something working in the middle lane. 3 wide now for the lead. Swim up top. Now Sick With It Motorsports trying to go around the outside. Now Thomas is clear, but he's not going to try to hang out Chew as they're going to go 3 wide. Now the outside starts to dissipate. Can't believe I said that word. As now Keith Bradley on the bottom side with Sentiment. They're trying to make it work as the outside is dissipated.
Keith Bradley is the target at the moment. Nobody's managed to just get their neck ahead of him. They've got the car lengths ahead of him, but every time they try, Keith Bradley is holding on tight, and he has to hold on tight. As you said, they go 3. Let's go 6. Let's go 7. It doesn't really matter who can defeat them. Phil may have a little bit of nose ahead of him at the moment, but still Keith Bradley's holding the inside line there, Jacob. Is there, who's wiggly and jiggly on the outside line there, my friend?
Stephen Thomas got a bad bump draft from his teammate and almost wrecked the whole damn field right there. But the outside lane's going to slide back. Hell of a save by Stephen Thomas. Now he's going to have to try to regroup with Brian Chew, but he's going to lose a whole lot of spots. Now MDW, he's going to slide by. That 3 wide turn back into 2 wide. And now MDW is going to jump up. We got a lap truck.
There's 2 of them.
The bottom side.
Get out of the way.
It's going to get good right here, Dean, as they go to the line. Is now Joey Doucette going to jump down. Newton going to jump down 4 wide for just a second as MDW on the top side with the help from Scoob. Stephen Thomas, MDW to the lead at Talladega.
He got the push. Can he get enough to just jump in right ahead? I would say get yourself down on the inside apron there. Cover off the pink animal. Cover him off. There it is. Somebody's coming over from behind him, man. I think that's Stephen Thomas. There it is. So they've got the job done to keep the animal from winning another race event here this evening. Is brilliant there. And also hats off to the other drivers. So I think that was Jeff Merck as well, too, that elected not to be a part of that party, my friend, because, you don't want 5 wide in Talladega. Although we have had 3 wide, we've got action all over the place. Give us a thumbs up, shout out there, and scream as Blake's going. Let's go sim and up front.
Absolutely. Blake Lothian, very, very prestigious and very honored here with Nazareth. So shout out to Blake Lothian. Hopefully we'll see him back out on the track.
How's Keith still at the
very
lead?
soon, but Keith able to get back and get back up front. MDW jumped up, tried to get some help back there. Pappas trying to give him some help. And Swim is trying everything up here on this top side. Thomas and Chew have tried numerous times to try to get both of them up to the front, and they're doing all that they can. They just need some more numbers up there, Dean. If they can get some more numbers up there on that top side, Swim's going to take control of this race. But Keith Bradley got help from Sentiment. This may be the time. Here comes MDW. Here comes Thomas. 3 wide once again for the lead. MDW just a nose out ahead as they are still now 3 wide for the lead. Thomas up top, Wood in the middle, and Bradley down on the bottom.
I think you've got to get the inside apron. I think Keith Bradley has not yielded that at all, my friend. This is my lane, and it's my lane to the race win, to the end of at least the stage break, and everybody that's tried to challenge him has not worked. It's up to MDW at the moment to see if he can kind of cover off at the moment. The middle lane and the high line have given a little bit of speed adjustment, but the inside apron, as you always know, my friends, and I think everybody knows, regardless of what motorsports it is the shortest path to the victory.
Yeah, but obviously they cannot go below that double yellow line to improve their position. If they will, race control will give them a black flag. So got to be careful down there on that yellow line. The inside lane doing a fantastic job wrapping it all the way around that double yellow line that you see before you, separate the racing surface from the apron. The bottom side, it's got a lot of help down there. You got Bradley, you got Sentiment, you got Broadfoot, you got Osborne, you got Hagan. Up top, you got the Swim guys, you got Scoob, Stephen Thomas, you got Brian Chew, and right there smack dab in the middle, MDW with Phil Pappas, and now Brandon Bullock back up here getting in the middle of this as well. These guys not giving an inch. Hell, they're racing like it's the last lap right here, Dean, and we're just now right here at halfway, just past halfway of the event. They're racing like they're going for the damn win of the whole thing. They're thinking that this is when the trophy's going to get put out as to how hard they're racing right now.
Well, they will get a trophy, of course, Jacob. for sure. But when do you want the trophy? This is fantastic racing. Of course, what Friday night series is what you want to expect. This is where it is. I don't like the blinking cars at the moment. Nothing those drivers can do anything about it there, Jacob. But Keith Bradley is still controlling and not really dominating, but I would say controlling the pace of this race as we get closer and closer, of course, to our stage break. That'll be the lap 70. That's the key number. And I'll tell you what, 5 or 6 laps in Talladega there, Jacob. Time to shine, time to move is now. I hope I haven't lost you there, Jacob, because I need you, Jacob, right now.
Yeah, I had my mic muted. I was
hey.
looking at something. I was looking at how they were trying to get going, Dean. But here you go. I mean, they really need to be able to get some runs. And I was just mentioning Morton while I had my mic muted. But now Morton, he's going to make a shot. He's going to try to go to the top. Scoop, Stephen Thomas going to try to give the shove 3 wide once again for the lead at Talladega. We sound like we're damn broken records every time because it seems like they're 3 wide numerous times for the lead at Talladega. That's what you get. That's what you get with NASRA, with the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series here in the playoffs for the Elite 10. Each one of those guys up at the front, all 3 of them on that front row, Bradley, Wood, and Morton, trying to lock themselves in for a championship 6th berth in 2 weeks at Homestead and run for a championship. And they are doing all they can, trying to use any help that they can. Bradley, Wood, Morton, you got them all right there. Pappas, Cinnamon, Chew, all of them trying to work together as we are coming to 5 laps to go. We're at 5 laps to go to end stage number 2.
I still think the Animal's got this one. He's always a nose ahead every single lap there, Jacob. Everybody's throwing the kitchen sink. They're throwing the barbecue. God, they're throwing Jacob's mattress there, his fold-up chair, his fold-up futon, whatever, that he has currently to host everybody down here in Talladega. And everybody's doing it. MDW's got a little bit of nose ahead, but then every time he gets a nose ahead, the Animal fights back, Jacob. 4 laps to go. It's getting close.
Yeah, Bradley down on the bottom side trying to get the run. He's got the Spice Man, Chris Cinnamon, his teammate, trying to give him the shove. Broadfoot's kind of been boxed in down there on the bottom side, really nowhere to go. Here comes Mark Morton in the number 8. He's up on the top side. He's trying to get something going up there on the top side, but MDW got some help from Pappas, I should say, on the middle side. And now Scoop, Stephen Thomas, he slipped back just a little bit. Now Brian Chew, he's found another driver to work with Morton up on the top side. So Chew trying to help out. The 3 wide for second with Cinnamon, Wood, and Morton as they come around this time. 3 laps to go in stage number 2.
What would you do at the moment? The 21 machine in the inside line at MDW has to get a nice push here at the last dying stages. On the outside line, I don't think they have enough. I don't think they have enough at all there, Jacob. I think it's going to be more importantly, MDW wants to take the win. We saw the Indianapolis 500 won on the last lap. Will this stage break be decided on the last lap as we're getting down closer to 69 out of 70?
I got a feeling that's exactly what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to that last lap as they are still 3 wide. Now for the lead, Morton up on the top side trying to get it done. And now here comes old Scoop. Scoop going to try to get going up there as well. Morton is going to get clear. Morton jumps down, hangs out Chew. Now MDW, he's going to try to get going up here in this second or middle lane, I should say. Chew going to slide back to Thomas. New race leader, Mark Morton coming to 2 laps to go here in stage number 2. It's getting dicey right now, Dean. I got a feeling, like you said, it's going to come down to that last lap pass to see who's going to get him.
Yeah, they blocked him. They blocked the Animal. That was key, I think. But how long could they block the Animal? Because, you know, it's only a matter of time before the Animal's released from the cage, and the Animal wants it big time there. Mark Morton, good call there. But is he going to have any support there? And, of course, we do know that the Spice-Man himself is pushing and pushing and pushing the Animal across the line to win the second stage break. But where can he go? He's going to have to jump out on the second line. But I don't think the Animal's going to move from the inside line there, Jacob. I think he wants it, and he's going to get it. But where can you get the OT? Because you're down to the last lap, my friend.
I mean, he's going to have to figure something out. He may end up having to hang out Cinnamon. Obviously, we're trying to be very, very loyal to his up front motorsports teammate, but now that middle lane is going to start to get a little bit of a run. Here comes MDW. White flag last lap in stage number 2. They are going to be possibly catching some lap traffic. They're working their way through 1 and 2, but we'll see if they end up getting to them before it's all said and done. Morton up front. Chew and Thomas, they've swapped spots from where they was at earlier on. Chew was trying to give the shove to Thomas. Now, here comes that outside lane. Now it's going to start to get a little bit crazy. Chew up front. Now, here comes MDW in the middle. Morton down on the bottom. They're racing like they're on the short track. Out next to the free campground outside the interstate. Morton able to get the run down on the bottom side. Bradley may take one shot. He's not going to be able to do it. Morton goes down on the apron of the racetrack. Bradley shoots through the middle. It's going to be a photo finish at the line. MDW, Matthew David Wood, by 9/1000ths of a second, will end up winning stage number 2 here at Talladega. Holy hell, Dean. That's why we love it right there. That's why we love Talladega, is these photo finishes that we see each and every time we come here.
And they worked together to get that one. Honestly, you would have thought a couple, a handful of change of laps earlier, you would have gone, well, Keith Bradley had this one. But MDW said, no, my watch, the number 21 machine, gets the job done. For the second stage break here at the fantastic community here of the Consensus Police Survivors. Don't forget about that one, Jake, of course. Blanchard's towing and recovery at 250. And, well, unfortunately, we can't really talk too much about Mr. Blanchard on this event this evening. But what we can do, of course, is go over and shout out to some sponsors. Don't go anywhere.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 15.
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Folks, we're back here at Talladega Superspeedway. Obviously, there you see, excuse me, MDW ends up getting that stage number 2 win. Everybody coming down. See a lot of guys taking 4 fresh tires. Maybe end up taking 2 tires. One thing I did want to mention, we didn't talk a lot about that, Dean, with how the tire limit goes. There's 3 sets of tires. That's 2 in the pits, 1 on the truck. But we don't use a lot of tires here at Talladega. These drivers really don't. Especially if they're going to be coming in under green flags. So they take that opportunity, go in and get those tires, especially when you end up getting a caution like you did right here at the end of stage number 2. And while we've got a minute, I'm going to bring up our stage 2 winner, Mr. MDW, Matthew David Wood. There you saw, got that little bit of a cheer going on, man. He's tickled to death to get that bad boy. MDW wins that stage 2. Matthew, I mean, tell us about your race, buddy. It's looking, I mean, it's hellacious from what we've been watching.
Dude, I never thought I would be up at the front of the super speedway. I thought I'd be killed by now. I'm going to be so honest with you. Yeah, this is the goal. This was the goal. Don't get wrecked. Make your moves when you want to, and I've got a 4th and a 1st in the stages now. So now the goal is just don't wreck, keep your head down, get a good result, because I don't want to be in a hole going into Chicagoland. I've still got to practice how the new truck feels. I know you can do a blowover now. I don't know if it's happened. I saw a truck in the air earlier, but It's been pretty fun. I thought when I was pushing Steven on the outside, I thought he was killed for it there when he made that great save. I don't know how he saved it.
I'm going to cut in real quick there before I leave it over to the redneck announcer, of course, the best there. But it was Keith Bradley. That was the target, right? How did you get it done on Keith?
I don't know. I had a huge shove from Pappas. I mean, Pappas was shoving the crap out of me. And then I looked behind me, and he's pushing me. And then I guess Keith made it 3 wide on Morton, and I side drafted him and got the stage by about 9 thousandths.
Hell of a finish all the way down to stage number 2. MDW got it done, looking good here tonight. He could be a strong contender when this thing is all said and done. Matthew, appreciate your time and good luck the rest of the race, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh, I give you all the... I want you to ask the serious questions there, my friend. You know, you're up in the casting booth. You know, don't make it easy for the drivers. You know, they're tough. They can handle it, there, Jacob. As drivers are handling pit road.
Well, I mean, Dean, you know, there you see Jeff Merck going back down pit road. Matter of fact, Merck still 1 lap down. Still 1 lap down. Not able to get that lucky dog.
You picking on
he needs to try to get a little bit lucky. He needs to get some type of a caution and be able to try to get back in this thing. Or else he's going to be in a serious hole when we go to the Windy City next week at Chicagoland Speedway. As, I mean, that's what he's going to need there. You see the points. That's, I mean, there's your points right there. I mean, obviously, with NASRA and how everything works, folks, now, from what I know, next season, I think every playoff point that you accumulate throughout the season, I think that's how we're doing it on the Monday Night Series, so don't quote me on that. But I think next season, all the playoff points that you accumulate throughout the season, it will carry over through each round all the way up until the championship 6 if you make it that far. So this is a little bit different. Basically, you're zeroed out when you go through these rounds, so everybody is set at whatever points that they got. I think it's 2,000, I think is what they set it at. So everybody is even coming into the night. So that great season that Jeff Merck has really put on, or I guess you could say this big old playoff run that Jeff Merck's really been putting on here lately, it can go down the drain really quick, especially with how this has went so far for him tonight here at Talladega. But folks, you thought you'd seen it all so far. You're getting ready to see it all right now. Here we go. Stage 3, final stage for the Blanchards Towing 275. Who's going to punch their ticket to Homestead? Who's going to get them a laser engraved trophy when this thing's all said and done? Green flag in the air. Bradley gets on the gas, and he is gone. But now that draft going to start to work back up. They are getting kind of scattered out a little bit. Here comes Sentiment, the Spice Man with MDW, and Brian Chew. They're going to work to the top side. Bradley, all the help he's got is Pappas. 3 ends up beating 2. Spice Man goes to the lead. MDW, he's going to go to second. Chew tried to get in. He's trying to get into the hole. He better find that hole and quick. He's not going to be able to do it. Chew's going to get hung out to dry.
Yeah.
So Brian Chew is going to the back.
He may have somebody just pick up the pieces at the moment, but we'll drop a couple of places there. Chris, the Spice Man, will take the lead of this one. I'd have to say, because Chris has been pushing, remember, he's been pushing the animal, Keith Bradley, for all that stage 2 victory. And at this point, Chris is like, okay, sorry, my friend, I did my best. Now it's time for the Chris man to shine on this motor speedway there. Brian Chew, of course, has not been too shy lurking in the background there, as well as NBW, as you mentioned there, Brandon Bradford, and all the top guns here this evening, my friend. This is when it comes to push comes to shove, my friend. And you know what? Sorry there, Jacob. If I was trying to give you a little toe to get the race victory, I'm going to overtake you, my friend. It's time for me to win.
Yes, sir. I agree with you 100%. I'll push you to the win all day long. Good buddy up front. The Spice Man. Chris Sentiment, Big Rig, back in the back. Bullock, Hagen, and Osborne went over in the air, almost went over the fence. Caution on the speedway once again here at Talladega.
That was huge there, Jacob. Just as you were speaking about give me a little toe to get the race win, Jacob, please don't do that to me. Not that much of a toe, my friend. What happened here?
Well, like I said, I mean, I'll help you out any chance I get,
Yeah.
buddy. You got to get
Don't
a wheel
push
and
me
some
into the
pedals.
fence like
Come on,
this.
jump in here. Yeah, get you a wheel and some pedals. Get in here and we'll race together one time. But there you see Ed Osborne up on the top side. Bullock, Hagan, these are the guys that's going to end up getting in the middle of it. These guys way back here in the back getting this run up to the back bumper of Ed Osborne. And then you'll see when they end up getting to it, they run into a roadblock. Osborne tried to jump up, maybe tried to put the block. Once again, a little bit of net code, and holy hell, Bullock, Osborne, both of them get airborne after the contact. You'll see it once again on the instant replay. Riding on board with the 28 Ed Osborne. Bullock gets into the right rear. He goes over Bullock's roof. Literally, I mean, kind of net-coated through the fence. Ed Osborne takes a hellacious hit. Bullock takes a hellacious hit. Hagan gets involved as well. 3-driver crashes. Everybody going down below that yellow line. Like I said, they can do that because they're not improving their position. They're just trying to make sure that they miss the wreck, and everybody was able to miss it. And we'll see if anybody decides to go down. Yes. The whole field going down, and Jeff Merck, Mama Merck out there, your boy, he's going to get back on the lead lap. Jeff Merck will get the lucky dog. So last season's champion, Jeff Merck, he's back in the hunt, Dean. But folks, while we got a quick moment, we're going to take another quick commercial break. Let you hear from some of our sponsors. Don't go anywhere.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We're back here at Talladega. Have one driver decide to stay out, and there you see him on the bottom side, the 00 of Huck Wigington is going to stay out on the racetrack. Obviously, right there with the 00, Huck Wigington's done a lot for Nazra. Beautiful paint scheme right there you see for Blue Line Racing on the tailgate. Awesome paint scheme. And one thing I do want to mention, folks, if you listen to the Door Banging Download on Spotify, if you haven't, we're just going to go ahead and ask, where the hell have you been? Why have you not subscribed to the Door Banging Download on Spotify? Go check it out. As I say all the time, make sure that the kids are in the bed because it does get a little bit rowdy over there on Spotify with the Door Banging Download. But the reason that I mentioned that is Huck Wigington will be the guest for the Beer Buddy segment next week on that podcast. So shout out to Huck. Appreciate him wanting to come on the show. And he just kind of changed the game a little bit right here, Dean. He's going to be up front right here. Unless he decides to go down pit road right here, he's going to be leading them to the green flag.
I wouldn't go to pit road right now, my friend, because he boxed, as I've always said all along course, he boxed only a few laps earlier, my friend. But Brandon's gone. So, well, eat my words. I don't know why they're going to pit road. Maybe it's not gasoline. 100% you can go to the end. He's not the only one. He's got Casey. He's got the Dean of Deans. He's got a whole show of comrades heading down into pit road.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a little bit of a shocker, I guess you could say, for some of these guys to go down. And, you know, Dean, you mentioned it. I mean, they will be able to make it to the end because they're right here on lap 79 of 105 scheduled left in this race. So they are within their window to be able to make it all the way to the end. You can go about 25, 28 laps, give or take, on a full tank of fuel. So some of those guys that's going in like Broadfoot, those guys back there in the back that is deciding stay out or to go into pits, I should say, Dean, they may be doing that for a strategy call. And, you know, a lot of people may be sitting there going, well, why would there be strategy involved in that if you just said that they're going to be able to make it?
Let's ask the chat.
They're going to the...
What do you reckon?
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, we can throw it out there in the live chat. And I'll tell you what I think. But out there in the live chat, you tell me what you're thinking on it as well. This is my opinion on this. What I think they're doing is they're going to the back to try to stay out of some chaos. Because, Dean, we know how this is. This is Talladega. I mean, anything can happen at this point.
Really, Jacob?
Especially, we've already seen. Yeah, baby, you know
I
how
don't
it
stay
is.
in
I
the
mean,
back
they
if I want to stay out of chaos, because there's a wreck up the road. I have to go left or right, otherwise my car's completely wrecked. But I don't. You're a driver.
Well, yeah, I mean, but, you know, I've done that numerous times to just go ahead, go down and take fuel, even though that you know that you're going to be able to make it. But especially right here at this point, if you're back there about where Broadfoot was in general, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, go down pit road, because we've only got 16 drivers right now on the lead lap, as Jeff Mark just did get that lucky dog. He did get waved around the pace car. So Mark is going to be back on the lead lap. So you only got 16 drivers on the lead lap, Dean. I mean, why not? Yeah, I mean, go in and try to go to the back. Make sure that you don't end up getting caught up in this chaos that odds are is probably going to end up happening. They've waved off the one to go, so we're going to go green this time by Dean. Look, I put you on the spot last night. You know I did. I put you on the spot last night. I got you to try to pick a winner with Goat Locker here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. By the way, if you have not yet subscribed, go subscribe to the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Give them a follow. Shout it out. Also, like the video. Give all that good stuff, all the gold stars and all that good stuff. But Dean, put you on the spot. Who's going to win it here tonight?
Well, now, I would have said in the stage break before, I'd totally gone with Keith Bradley. But now I'm going to switch it over at the moment to my Commonwealth friend, of course. The Queen in country, the King in country. That'd be number 3, my favorite number. And Chris Cinnamon, of course, is one of my favorite drivers as well, too. The Cinnamon Spice Man, 13 positions gained up. There's got 3 in the numbers, my friend. Unlucky for some. I think it may be lucky for Chris.
I think it probably will be, too. Honestly, you know, I was thinking Chris Cinnamon as well, and yeah, I mean, I could be a little bit. Well, I mean, I'm a little biased. I mean, hell, he was on the door banging download for the Beer Buddy segment. So, yeah, I mean, I was thinking Chris Cinnamon. But if I had to go another driver, just to try to not be the copycat, I guess you could say, Dean, I'm going to go with the guy right behind Hutt Wigginton. We'll go with that 51. I'm going with Brian Chew to win this race. And also, I picked Brian Chew. I picked Brian Chew to win at Daytona Monday night. I mean, hell, he won last season, so why wouldn't Brian Chew be able to win it again? Brian knows how to get around these super speedways. So if I had to pick a winner right here in this race, I'm going with Brian Chew. Also, that guy back there behind that 8, Mark Morton, that 81, Taylor Peacock. We talked about him a little bit as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see that 81 have a shot. Try to get up here and get it done. Here at Talladega, pace truck is off. Hutt Wigginton in the 00. Couple of beer buddies, I guess you could say, here for the next 2 weeks. Up here on the front row, Hutt Wigginton, Chris Cinnamon. They're going to lead them to the green flag. Brian Chew, Keith Bradley, that's the top 4. Mark Morton, Phil Pappas, Taylor Peacock, Matthew David Wood, Cody Notting, Chris Blanchard. That is the top 10. Pace truck is off. We got a green flag. And Wigginton, he's going to try to get away in a hurry. Chew up on his tailgate, trying to give him the shove. But up on the top side, up front, Motorsports, Cinnamon, Bradley, they're going to get the ride as they work their way off of turn number 2.
Called it, Jacob, and I'll take that. Brian Chew, we can't cut him out, can we? Because he's just been a mastermind in this one. He's avoided a ton of wrecks there. Huck's up 22. Chris the Spice Man's up 14. Keith Bradley's been practically in this one since lap 1, really, at the end of the day. So, yes, and Chris Blanchard, of course, has been fighting tooth and nail down in P7. He started P7, he's in P7, so, you know, don't count him out. But there it is. So, the Spice Man leading from the Animal. And as you'd mentioned, Mark Morton. Don't you also count out the old Mark Morton? But I'll tell you what, my money's still on the Canadian, number 3.
He's doing a fantastic job right there in front of his teammate, the Animal. Keith Bradley, Mark Morton up on the top side. Chew thought about trying to make a bump. He's going to slide back. I wouldn't be surprised maybe going back there fighting his teammate. Old Scoop, Stephen Thomas, try to help him out, get him up here at the front. 3-truck breakaway at the front. It's Cinnamon, it's Bradley, and it's Pappas. Now, here comes Morton. He's going to get up to the outside of Phil Pappas. He's going to get to the outside of Bradley. Blanchard, Chris Blanchard up on the back bumper, giving the shove to Morton. He's going to shove Morton all the way up to the outside of Chris Cinnamon. Mark Morton trying to challenge for the lead off turn 4.
He may have it there, Jacob. They're nose to tail. And it's 24 laps, a little day early on that one, gentlemen. But you know what? Get the lead and get the connection, isn't it, Jacob? Get the feel of the cars and the track temperatures and so forth, and how you're going, and then bump your teammates. And then, of course, when you get down to about 5 to go, it's like, all right, do you want it or do I want it? Let's go. Racing. Talladega, baby. Shake and bake.
Yes, sir. Shake and bake here at Talladega. And I think that's what Blanchard and Morton probably ended up sending a little bit of a message back and forth. We'll shake and bake it all the way to the front. But one thing you got to think about, Dean, obviously Blanchard with Up Front Motorsports, got 2 of his teammates up there at the front as well. Obviously, he doesn't want to try to shove Morton past his teammates and try to screw Up Front Motorsports out of a win, but he's got to do what he's got to do to try to get up there with his teammates. He's there, but he's got to find something to be able to get up there as well. And I mean, shout out to Taylor Peacock. He's Up Front Motorsports as well. So Up Front Motorsports all over the place up there at the front. Morton had enough of it. Morton's going to go to the top. Morton's going to get hung out. Now Up Front Motorsports up here with Chris Cinnamon, Keith Bradley. You got Chris Blanchard and Taylor Peacock, all of them up here inside the top 5. And Pappas, Hunt Wigginton. Now Brandon Broadfoot, we talked about him a while ago, made that late pit stop to be able to get up here, get him a little bit of extra fuel. He's going to be good to the end. Broadfoot going to be very, very aggressive as he gets up on the back bumper. Taylor Peacock is now Blanchard going to take a shot on the outside of Chris Cinnamon for the lead.
Well, there you go. You don't need some towing at the moment if you're in the number 9 machine. Chris Blanchard's well aware of towing anybody in the moment. Chris Blanchard's getting a huge tow from the rest of the pack there. May have a nose ahead of Chris Cinnamon. So it's the battle of the Chris's at the moment here. Currently, 21 laps to go. Jacob.
At the line right there, it was the same thing that MDW had over Keith Bradley. 9/1000ths of a second. Blanchard got him for that lap. Coming this time, 20 laps to go. Who is going to win the Blanchard's Towing 275? Shout it out there in the live chat. Who you think's going to win it? Who's going to lock themselves into the Championship 6 at Homestead? And who's going to get a laser engraved trophy after this thing's all said and done by Murph's Magical Creations? Be awesome to see Keith Bradley get it, especially having the Murph's Magical Creations paint scheme on it. But Blanchard, he's got something to say about that. Chris Blanchard in the 9. He's got Peacock up there. Up Front Motorsports, the 2 front rows, literally the 2 front rows. Cinnamon, Bradley on the inside, Blanchard and Peacock up on the top side. And don't look now, Mama Merck, Jeff Merck, he's up here inside the top 10. He's trying to get up here and make it an Up Front Motorsports sweep here at Talladega.
I just want to check out the pink unicorn. Look at that. Roll! And he's rallying at the moment for the drivers up the road there. The battle of the Chris's, and look at the outside there. That's fantastic. That's the other Chris, of course. We're on board of Chris Bradley and, well, Keith Bradley. Sorry, Chris. I mean, there's so many Chris's, isn't there? Look at this. 81 machine. That's the Taylor Peacock there. That's the 51 you mentioned currently at the moment there. Jacob, I'm just on board camera. I'm having fun here. This is brilliant. Yeah, motor racing.
Awesome camera angles right here by our producer, lovely producer, I guess you could say, Dean Hopton Biggles, giving you some awesome 360 view off the top of the truck. And there he was riding on board with Keith Bradley, but Cinnamon able to shoot out ahead, get a hold of the lead. Jeff Merck swapping lanes back and forth, bottom up to top, bottom up to top. Can't figure out which lane he wants to go in. He's going to stay on the top side. He's going to try to take it around Brandon Broadfoot, stay in the tire tracks of Brian Chew. And right behind him, the Joker, Joey Doucette, 4 laps down. Some of these drivers up here in this pack are multiple laps down. The one driver that's hoping for a caution right here is way back there in the number 39 of Dane Hagan. If caution comes out, Dane Hagan will end up getting the lucky dog, get back on the lead lap, and he'll have a shot try to win this race here at Talladega. But here we go, 18 to go this time. Blanchard trying to work the top, Peacock trying to give the shove as well, and Cinnamon gonna get the run on the bottom side. Bradley giving him the shove, Cinnamon back to the lead.
Oh, it's racing at its finest, of course. It's the Concerns of Police Survivors, and this is all for a good cause too, remember there, Jacob. So it's fantastic. The battle of the Chris is the lead of this one. The animal, don't count him out there. Who's going to gamble on the top line as well, too? We see that try earlier at the moment there, Jacob. There could be the Joker, the Joey, but will it pay off? Well, you've got plenty of laps to go. 18.
Well, I mean, Joey Doucette back there, he's going to take it up on the top side. He's got MDW right behind him. Stephen Thomas right behind him as well. Keep in mind, the Joker, Joey Doucette, 4 laps down up here on this top side, so technically won't be 3 wide for the lead. But MDW finding him a friend up here. They're trying to work up here, maybe trying to shove Joey Doucette to the front, and then maybe try to fall back in line with him and take the lead of this race. They're up on the top side. Doucette gets the run. MDW goes with him. Thomas back there with Richards and Hagan. They're going 3 wide all the way through the field. Holy hell, they are slipping, they are sliding, they're trying to hang on to them as we're coming around. 16 to go. Who's going to win it here at Talladega? Shout it out once again in the live chat. We got Murph out there. He's wanting to go for it. If anyone can pull it off, it's the animal. Keith Bradley sitting in second, side by side with Blanchard, and Doucette up here as well, but Sentiment's got the lead for now. The Spice Man has it.
And we know the animal wants it, and we know at the moment that Joker the Joker can't get it done, but he's got to help out everybody behind him. That's the key, isn't it? That is the key. The Chris is still leading this one. Side by side, almost door back at the Jacob, and into the fence.
Big crash. Peacock gets hooked off of the front bumper of the Joker, Joey Doucette. Big time wreck. The big one strikes coming off of turn 2 here with only 15 laps to go, and the Blanchards tow at 275. Taylor Peacock gets involved. Multiple drivers gets involved. Caution is out on the speedway.
Let's go back and have a look at how it all panned out, my friend.
Well, this is going to be a tough one to try to, I guess you could say,
Analyze?
Analyze, yeah, let's go with that one, Dean. I'm almost speechless as to how hard all of them wrecked right there. You see the Joker, Joey Doucette, up here on the top side. He's got MDW Thomas right behind him. Peacock's going to eventually get clear, and he's going to try to jump up, maybe try to get the outside rolling and get a 3 wide for the lead. But the Joker, I mean, Peacock just comes up into it. That's exactly what happened right there. The Joker never really came down. Yeah, I mean, Peacock just comes up. Ooh. There it was. There you see MDW. He gets involved. Nate Maurer just trying to slide through. He's on the binders, as our great Wesley Atlam would say. There's Peacock sliding through. Hagan, you lucky dog that could have been. He slides through it. He gets involved. There goes Huck Wigginton. Nate Maurer hard in the inside retaining wall, I should say. But Dean, the big one strikes right here, and this could really hurt a lot of guys' playoff chances right here to be able to try to make it that championship 6.
I think you call it, my friend, Talladega. It can make or break drivers, and exactly. Look at Brian Chu's perspective at the moment. He wasn't a cause of the accident. However, back in P13, currently at the moment, I'm seeing on the timing towers, some drivers are going to pit road, but look at that, Jacob. Like, this is precision driving at its best, but you can call what you thought happened.
Yeah, I mean, Chew right there, I mean, he's just trying to come down the track. Obviously not trying to come down and get in and get into the right rear of Phil Pappas. So obviously there's no intention there. Chew's just trying to miss the wreck, which is something that you normally do when you see somebody get sideways up there on the top side like that, and they're all wrecking and everything. Your first instinct is to just turn left and try to steer around it or try to get away from it as much as you possibly can. So, I mean, Chew didn't do anything wrong in that instance. He just got into the back of Phil Pappas. You know, Dean, 9 ways to Sunday, usually that's what happens when you end up seeing these big wrecks. You end up seeing one wreck initiated, and then guys are trying to move to try to get around it. And then 9 times out of 10, the guys that's trying to get around it, they end up getting into somebody else and end up turning them around. And then that's when you see these big crashes that you see each and every time we come to Daytona and also here at Talladega.
Biggest key right now, though, too, Jacob, is the fact that the drivers have elected to come into the pit road even though they were not damaged or, or at least they may have had some damage before. And they've gone down there. They've got some fresh gasoline, got some fresh boots. So they may come into play a little bit later because the field's getting a little bit small there, Jacob, because we dropped Hunter Parsons, Keith Hanley, and Stephen Gregory as well. Tony Khrushchev, they actually started the race there. A few other drivers are lapped down. That could be crucial there, Jacob. And speaking of crucial, my friend, well, you all know the setups that you use on Monday nights. And what are those again, Jacob?
I don't know. Let's check them out, folks. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to take you all the way to the checkered flag. No more commercials after this right here. We're going to take one more commercial, take you all the way to the checkered flag, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Folks, we're back here at Talladega, and folks, if you haven't got you a setup yet, you know where to get them at PremierRacingSetups.com. Go enter the code NASRA, N-A-S-R-A. You will get 15% off your entire order. Also, 15% gets kicked back to that North America Sim Racing Association if you want to race the setups that the Redneck Announcer races. And whenever we can get Dean to get a steering wheel and some gas pedals, I'm sure we'll get him lined up with Premier Racing Setups. But if you want to race those setups, folks, you know where to go. Premier Racing Setups with a G. Racing. Not racing, but, you know, I mean, we know how the Redneck Announcer does it, Dean. Just go check them out. PremierRacingSetups.com. And, Dean, this is going to get good right here, baby. We got a lot of guys up here at the front. Some drivers that we see up at the front that really hasn't been at the front until now when it's crunch time right here when they need to be. Is there you see right up there on the top left of your screen. We've only got 13 to go, 12 to go this time by. Dean, you had Keith Brad, or no, excuse me, you had Sentiment, so Sentiment's still there. Brian Chew, he got caught up in that wreck, so my pick, I guess that commentator's curse is fixing to end up kicking me again, but riding on board with Dean Doucette. He's had a quiet night tonight, currently sitting in that 10th spot.
Yeah, I thought you were speaking about Dean. You said Dean, so I went to Dean. Oh, sorry there, Jacob. I thought you were talking about the Dean of Deans. But he is back in the 55 machine currently at the moment running at P9. Yes, sorry, Jacob. I'm just playing with you at the moment. But keep an eye on that little battle for first information on the right-hand side. Who has boxed on those laps? 77, 78, and so forth. Figured about Newton and Court. He is going to be a lap down. We're going to go motor racing for the final. Hopefully time there, Jacob. Under green.
Well, we'll see what happens, and hopefully they'll be able to make it to the checkered flag right here within the next 12 laps with no more cautions. Here we go. Green flag in the air. A couple of drivers back there spinning some tires. Way back there in the back, that was Chew and Doucette that was sliding their tires. Up front, Sentiment got all the help he can get from the animal. Keith Bradley, Stephen Thomas up the tailgate of Blanchard. He almost turned him. Now he's going to jump down, get in front of Brandon Broadfoot, and Cody Knight going to jump up here and get him some up here at the front. Blanchard, he's got no help. He's going to get hung out to dry as now Dean Doucette has worked his way up here. They're going to split. Blanchard as Knight goes down to the bottom. Dean Doucette up top. He's got Brian Chew right behind him with Bullock back there as well. A lot of bees in that one right there, Dean. Have to try to get it through. But there you see Blanchard. He's going to take a shot. Here comes Jeff Merck hooking up with Up Front Motorsports as they work through the trial.
I thought there was no B in Dean's, but then again, that's good. Fantastic racing because I realize there's 12 to go there, Jacob. There's no time to sit around there on the fence there and shout out who's going to win. It's all about who's going to win. And don't forget about the animal, my friend. He's made his way into P2. The only thing he has to do is the spices of dices to get past. And I tell you what, the animal is hungry. But don't forget about Brandon. He's got on the inside, the outside there. Brandon Bradford. He wants a little bit of the pink animal. He wants a little bit of a ride on that unicorn, my friend. The unicorn's dropped back into P4.
I want to go fast. That's what it says on his tailgate. That being the number 10 of Brandon Broadfoot. Slid right up in front of Blanchard at MDW. They had a hell of a run, and he's going to try to take him all the way to the front. Blanchard getting a little bit squirrely coming off of turn 4, but stays glued to the back end of the number 10. Hits him a little bit offset. You're riding on board with the number 9 of Chris Blanchard. Gives Brandon Broadfoot the shove. Tries to get him clear of Chris Sentiment. Not able to do it. Sentiment on the bottom. Got Bradley down there as well. Blanchard trying to give the shove to Broadfoot. MDW, Stephen Thomas. You got them all back there. Merck. I mean, you got you got them all trying to go. As we got a little bit of blinking going on. Is there a wreck? I didn't even see it.
There's a wreck in the background, but I think it's green, green, green. Yes, Barney said no. Don't worry about it. Let's go racing, gentlemen. 10 laps to go. Chris leading for Brandon and Keith Bradley, and the other Chris, of course, at the moment, Steve Thomas and MDW. Don't count them out. They're starting to break away from the rest of the pack there, Jacob. 10 to go. Now, this is when you decide, hey, are we going to work together or who's going to win?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a wreck back there in the back. Brandon Bullock got involved. Merck got a little bit involved, and so did Mark Morton, but Jeff Merck able to steer clear and try to gas it up. He's still going. Mark Morton got involved as well as Robbie Richards. So a lot of guys not doing or not being in the situation that they need. You're still seeing the smoke from the last accident, but up front, Sediment gets the shove. He's going to get clear of Broadfoot. Blanchard trying to get up there and maybe help out Broadfoot. Like I said, he's got up front Motorsports teammates down on the bottom side. Blanchard's in a bad spot right here. Is he going to push Broadfoot? Maybe not. He ain't going to have to worry about it. Bradley, he's going to go to the top side. He's going to go in front of Chris Sediment. Now, you got the 23, Stephen Thomas. He's going to try to give the shove as well. Broadfoot giving the shove to Bradley. Bradley's going to lead this lap, and I got a feeling he's going to jump down right in front of Chris Sediment. Eventually, maybe not.
Yeah, he did
yes,
it,
he
Jacob.
will.
You called it. I was going to say, Keith Bradley doesn't like the outside lanes, my friend. He's been comfortable all night long here at Talladega, or daylight, or whatever you are in the world. He's got the inside apron, outside apron there. It's an opportunity for the Spice Man to set up the inside.
Oh, he gets hooked. Broadfoot gets hooked. He gets sent down into Chris Sediment. Blanchard goes around. He gets into Stephen Thomas. Thomas takes a hell of a ride going into turn 3. Caution out once again. One driver on his roof, rolling down into the turn 3, turn 4 area, and still on his roof. We're trying to get confirmation as to who that was, but holy hell, big wreck going into turn number 3.
And unfortunately, it has involved our racing sponsor as well, too, for the Chris. So I wanted to see the Chris battle at the end of the day there, Jacob, but it might not pan out. We don't count out just yet, but we'll have a look at the replays there, Jacob. Wow.
Wow, what a wreck that we just saw right there, folks. That was crazy. I'm still trying to go back and see who it was. Ended up on their lid, and it was not. Yes, it was Dane Hagan in the 39 that took that hellacious ride. I just saw it right here on my end, but you'll see them. They come through the tri-oval right here, and this is just a bad bump right here. Honestly, I mean, you're gonna see Keith Bradley. What Bradley's doing is Bradley's trying to jump up and try to control both the lanes. That's why he ends up jumping up in front of Broadfoot. You see Bradley? He's gonna slide up. He sees that the run is coming. Sediment. He ends up being right there in that spot, and then Blanchard tries to shoot it 3 wide and ends up hooking Broadfoot in the left rear, sends Broadfoot into Chris Sediment, and then there you see Stephen Thomas just trying to get going. Blanchard ends up getting hooked by MDW after Blanchard hit the wall. He gets a little bit airborne, but then watch this right here. Yeah, he gets big time airborne, but then he's going to slide up, and watch where Dane Hagan is. There you see Scoop, Stephen Thomas. Hagan had nowhere to go. And then Hagan, he ends up riding the wall and ends up riding his roof going through turn 3 and 4. If we can get a ride on board with Hagan, folks, you might want to hide your kids on this one, not let them see it. This is going to be a hell of a ride.
Let's get back on that one. So just let me elaborate once again on the another number of Hagan. Dan Hagan,
39.
right? 39. Here it is.
Yes, 39.
Sorry, Dan, and all the Dan supporters, but we're going to run aboard.
You see Hagan back here. He's just basically just trying to ride, not get caught up in anything. Obviously, there you see the smoke. Hagan trying to get out of gas, right? Trying to find a hole. I mean, he's there, but then out of nowhere, I mean, that's just bad luck right there. I mean, Stephen Thomas slides up. You see Jeff Merck and get involved in this as well, and then Hagan just straight up there. You see, I mean,
he broke the camera.
Wow, broke the camera.
He broke my camera.
Broke the camera right there.
How dare you?
In that accident.
Well, I think he's actually broken the broadcast now as well, too. Oh, dear. He has. Jake, he's broken the broadcast.
He's broken the broadcast.
Damn you, Dan. He has.
Oh my goodness.
No, he's literally broken the broadcast. My apologies.
Has he really?
Yes, I can't. We'll do our best to get this back in the pictures. Hopefully, they're still under. You can give us a little radio commentary as well too, while I try to fix that one, my friend.
We can give you a little bit as the producer. I guess that wreck, believe it or not, actually broke the cameras, folks. That is going to be a first. That one may end up being on the TikTok that I have, or at Redneck Announcer 57. So if y'all get a chance to go over and check that out on TikTok, there's a good chance that this may end up being on that TikTok right here. Now we got it back. So we got you some videos.
But he broke it.
Now.
I guarantee you, he broke it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he may have sat there for a little bit, Nate. He may have sat there for just a little bit. But there you see, we're back live now. Keith Bradley, there you see him. Chris Cinnamon, he's going to stay out. He got a little bit of contact after Broadfoot got hooked into Cinnamon. And we'll see if that affects Chris Cinnamon. I'm looking at the right side of that number 3. Doesn't look too tore up. It's got a couple of scuff marks on it. Actually, it looks a little bit better than MDW's, because MDW's looked tore up, at least from where I was looking at. But, Dean, it's getting crazy right here.
Yeah,
5 laps to go. We're coming to 4 laps to go when we take this green flag right here. Your guy, Chris Cinnamon, he's still up here in it. And Brian Chew, my pick, he's got it all the way up here into the 6th spot. So, I don't know, man.
I think you might have it.
Yeah, this is going to be crazy right here.
I think you still might have it at the moment. As they weren't pole-shaped. But thank you very much for sticking with us and supporting it. Not everything works in the production booth, but stay away, Dingo. Get out of there. Jacob, I told you to feed the Dingo before we come into the commentary booths here. And, how much effort I had to go through to get my Dingo to fly here to Talladega?
What the hell is a dingo? What is that?
It's a pet dog, my friend. It's a dog.
It's a dog?
Yeah, it's a dog. It's a dingo. It's a dog.
Okay.
You petted him. You fed him before. Remember when I went away for a few hours and I went down to do some shopping and you're like, I'll take care of it.
Well, see, around here we call that a puppy or something like that. We call that a puppy or a dog or something like that. I ain't never heard it called a dingo, I guess you could say.
A dingo ate me race car, mate. That's what they used to say back in Australia. But don't forget about Blanchards, my friend, because they don't eat dingoes. They eat Talladega.
Yes, sir. Blanchard's obviously proud to have them as a sponsor here at Talladega for the Blanchard's 275. And also Blanchard's Towing and Recovery. Give them a quick shout out as well. They are the title sponsor for the Blanchard's Towing and Recovery Xfinity Series that runs on Tuesday nights here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Pace truck is off. Keith Bradley, Chris Cinnamon up on the front row, MDW, and Cody Knott. That is the front 2 rows. The Dean of Deans, Dean Doucette back there in 5th with Brian Chew sitting in 6th. And this is going to get good right here, Dean. Green flag back in the air. Brandon Broadfoot, who got hooked a while ago, he's back up there, sitting in the 7th spot. Outside lane getting formed up way better now. As Broadfoot tried to come down, Dean Doucette was down there. They're already getting 3 wide. Cody Knott gets kicked to the top side. Morton trying to go up to help. And Cinnamon, he has lost his help as MDW gets up here and gives the shove to Keith Bradley, and now he's going to go to the top and try to challenge for the lead.
Sounds like a deja vu, doesn't it? Keith Bradley and MDW at it again, aren't they? And look at the thunder from North Americas. You got the Dean of Deans and Chris Cinnamon at the moment, P3 and P4. Are they going to be able to do anything about the United States of America versus the Canada crew? This is brilliant. Where's the Aussie? Unfortunately, Ashley's a little bit further out there, but I'm up in the booth there. Let's go motor racing. 4 laps to go here at Talladega, baby.
Yes, absolutely, Ashley Dodson. Hate to see it for him. I'm actually looking to try to find the 88 of Ashley Dodson. For some reason or other, I can't find him on the leaderboard, but here we go. MDW, 3 laps to go. Trying to get the shove from Chris Cinnamon down on the bottom. Dean Doucette, he's come close so many times this season, Dean, to getting that win. He may end up getting it here at Talladega. He sounded like he was very confident in the pre-race interview that I give him. He looks like he may end up having a shot. Now, 2 wide for the lead. Couple of drivers up on the top side. They're trying to get going. Cody Knott, one of those drivers. trying to get up here and get something going, as well as Blanchard up there with the Joker, Joey Doucette. Adam Newton, he has worked his way back on the lead lap and is back there in the 13th spot. We got a little bit of door banging right here, trying to come this time around. 2 laps to go. Keith Bradley has assumed the lead. He's got the Canadian all the way up north. The Dean of Deans, Dean Doucette, is in that 2nd spot, but he's battling with MDW. Chew and Broadfoot, they're going for it. As Sentiment back there just trying to hold on and get the Joker to try to help him.
With 2 laps to go at the moment, Chris Whittam needs a big push on the outside lane there to do anything about the other Dean of Deans, the Canadian, up 14 places. There's a wreck there, huge, massive. That'll leave Keith Bradley all alone, Jacob. This is taking out the whole field.
The whole damn field going into a big-time spin cycle in 3 and 4. Everybody, literally everybody is involved except for your leader, the animal, Keith Bradley. And guess what, Dean? If we got enough of cars at the end of this sucker, we're going to green, white, checkers.
Wow, that was everybody. That was, you said to me, my friend, maybe you called it earlier there, Jacob, to say, you know what, stay back. Let a wreck happen up the road there, and then see how it pans out later on. Because believe it or not, Cody Knott survived it. Keith Bradley, being out in the lead, survived it. And then you got other players in the moment, like Taylor Peacock, Adam Newton. I'll tell you what, my friend, right place, right time. Let's have a look at the replay.
Yeah, I mean, and this is just a bad bump right here, honestly. The Brandon Broadfoot ends up giving Dean Doucette, Brandon Broadfoot to 10, Dean Doucette to 55. Going into turn number 3, there you see Peacock, see the little bit of the aftermath after everything's going crazy. Brandon Broadfoot, holy hell, looks like Brendan Gaughan a couple of years ago in the same exact turn. But you see Broadfoot down there on the inside. He's got Dean Doucette right there in front of him. And it's just an offset bump. I mean, that's exactly what it is, Dean. They get offset right there. You see Broadfoot gets in to MDW, ends up sending, he gets into Dean Doucette, sends him to MDW. Chew goes up top. Sentiment's got nowhere to go. Dean Doucette just along for the ride. A couple of drivers like Casey Mink tried to get by, but then he gets right rear hooked and gets set head on into the wall as well. A bunch of drivers, I mean, if they got through this right here, they're lucky as hell, literally. That is everybody in the field. You see Cody Knott, Taylor Peacock way down here.
And then they come down and tag the
racetrack.
rest of the field. Look at this.
So close to get through it. Knott did get through it, and Peacock got through it, but Peacock's already been in a little bit of an accident as well tonight. So everybody, literally everybody, has been caught up in a wreck somehow, some way. But check it out. Who was able to make it through up front. Keith Bradley and Mama Merck's boy, Jeff Merck, has fought his way, literally fought his ass off to get back up here and be in that 2nd spot here with the closing laps, getting ready for a green-white checker. Brandon Broadfoot is up here in that 3rd spot, but he has been given an EOL for getting into Dean Doucette, sending him around. So Brandon Broadfoot will end up going to the back, but
and what about this driver's
Dean,
name?
What a wreck.
When's the first time you mentioned this driver's name in the whole race?
He started dead last. Dane, I mean, literally, Casey Mink started dead last on the field.
Tell you, my friend.
And he has worked his way up here, and he's going to restart 3rd after Brandon Broadfoot ends up getting the EOL and gets set back. How about another driver? From what we're seeing, that's going to be able to make it through this. He's got his truck fixed, and believe it or not, sitting right now in that 5th spot, the Bulldog, Adam Newton. All the hell that he has went through. A lot of drivers have went through so much adversity here this evening, Dean, and they have been able to make it through it, be there at the end. And Adam Newton, really, he's went through it all here tonight. He's went through the ringer, and he's able to get back up here, and he may end up salvaging a top 5 when this thing's all said and done.
He's like, give me a little bit of Budweiser, my friend. I mean, that'll get the job done, won't it? Totally at the moment there for the... This is why you say you've got to continue the racing. You never quit, do you, my friend? You never, ever, ever quit. Especially at Talladega. Because just like that, that was a wreck. And that took out all the Top Guns, didn't it? That doing all that hard work, and of course, and you know, accidents happen. But, however, if you're hanging in the back there and you go, I've got no chances whatsoever. If I was your, radio engineer there, Jacob, and you're like, oh, Dean, it's over. I got no chance of getting a podium. I'd be like, you're going to get a podium, Jacob. You got to stick in it and then keep with it to the end of the race there. And believe me, you'll have hope. And look what happens, my friend. Look what happens.
I mean, there you see right there, Adam Newton's actually going to slide up into the 4th spot right here. And he's going to be right behind Jeff Merck up here on this restart, folks. First attempt at a green-white checkered. If this is your first if this is your first time here with Nazareth, first of all, where the hell have you been? Second of all, give you a little bit of update on how the green-white checkered situation works. We got 3 green-white checkers. This is how it works. They'll come around this time. They will take the green flag. If a caution comes out before they get to the white flag, we'll re-rack them, restack them, and we'll do it again for at least 3 times. If, for some however reason, they end up making it to the white flag, which I hope they do, and I hope everybody knows that they do, honestly. If they make it to the white flag, they could wreck just like they did right then. And then we will have a green flag finish all the way to the checkered flag. Now, I haven't said that. With 3 green-white checkers, there you see it right there on the bottom left on your screen. If we get to that 3rd green-white checkered, if we get to the 3rd attempt at a green-white checkered, and somehow or another we get to that and we have a caution before we get to the white flag, the race will end under caution. So hopefully we do not run into that situation. I really hope we don't, because we did, because we ran into it last night with Goat Locker with their truck series, and it was unfortunate. I really wanted to see that thing play out as good as it could have. But here we go. Pace truck is off. You got Up Front Motorsports, literally up front. Keith Bradley, Jeff Merck, you got Casey Minky, and Adam Newton. That's the 2nd row. Martin Morton up here with Dean Doucette and Chris Blanchard waiting on that green flag, and they stand on it, and now they're already wrecking. Mink ends up getting turned. Probably going to see the caution, and caution out once again.
Yes, sir.
Cody Knight, Chris Cinnamon, a lot of them getting involved again.
Day late and a day early and a dollar late on that one, my friend. They didn't even get across the line, my friend. Cold tires and certainly warm hearts for these drivers. So we'll get back to those replays and have a look at that one.
Yeah, I'm looking right here what it was, and I mean, nothing that Keith Bradley did wrong right there. Keith Bradley, I believe he was the, yes, Keith Bradley was the leader, and everybody just gassed up and thought he was going to go, and he never did. Keith Bradley never went. He went late in the box, which is his right to be able to go late in the box, and that's exactly what he did. Everybody behind him, Mark Morton, Casey Mink, all them, they gas up. Blanchard gasses up. Basically, everybody gets set straight into Keith Bradley. Thankfully, I don't know how the hell Keith didn't get turned. Actually, he got Nick coded into, is what exactly happened right there with Keith. But a lot of drivers getting involved. There you see Dean Doucette. Unfortunate for him. He was looking to have a very good night. Chris Seddeman, Cody Knott, all these drivers getting involved right here as we're going to go to a 2nd green-white checkered attempt.
That is very unfortunate, because we do like the drivers to do the absolute best that they can. But if you can't even get through a green flag, what's going on, gentlemen? What is going on?
Here comes the pace car.
Oh, there we go. You know, I might drive the pace car in the future there, Jacob. See how we go on that one. But don't forget, of course, this is only the one of many. Schedule coming up, of course. Talladega, scratch that one. Talladega, sorry there, my friend. Chicago, sweet home Chicago. 145 laps on that one for the next event in Homestead. And, getting close, aren't we, to those fantastic playoffs and those. Look at those standings, my friend. This is going to be a big decider, isn't it, for a lot of players?
Yeah, it's going to be big right here. For a lot of these guys that have got involved in some of these wrecks, Phil Pappas, one of those drivers that I see down there on the bottom. Robbie Richards, one of those guys. Brian Chew, he's had a very, very eventful night, but he's been able to soldier on, I guess you could say. The Joker, Joey Doucette, not the night that he's really wanted. Adam Newton he is about the luckiest man right now in virtual Alabama right now, sitting up there in the 4th spot. He was able to miss all that chaos right there on that restart. Jeff Mark actually lucky as well. He's up here. He's going to have the lead on this restart. So somehow or another, he was able to get around the animal Keith Bradley and be able to get a hold of the lead of this. And Mark Morton, you see him as well right there. So Morton looking pretty good. So you may end up seeing some guys when we go to Chicago, sweet home Chicago, as you said. May end up seeing some guys have to win next week to be able to make it in, Dean.
Another big thing at the moment, Brian Chu sitting down in the pit road. Remember, Brian was doing a fantastic job earlier as well. Where's Phil Pappas currently at the moment? Well, Phil, unfortunately, my friend, I can't even find Phil currently in the timing. Yeah, Phil's down there in P22, so he's struggling in pit road with a lot of repairs. Then Robbie Richards as well. He's also sitting at pit road. They might have too much damage on their motor vehicle to just sit there and go what's going on for the rest of it. And then Joey, of course, well, he is currently sitting in P14. So I think they got a lot of those drivers at the moment are going to be seeing how it pans out currently with the Joker, who's not shouldn't be joking around anymore, my friend. The Elite 10 to get yourself into the Championship 6.
It's a very good possibility. May end up seeing a back-to-back champion here in the next couple of weeks. Never know what could happen. It's Jeff Merck. Obviously, he is going to be the leader there. You see Chris Blanchard, a couple of guys clutching it right here, Dean. We didn't talk about this right here. A lot of guys of when they pitted, if you could throw that up on the screen of when some of these guys last boxed, we may end up going a little bit later, else they probably just went ahead and pitted not too long ago. So, yeah, they'll be good. For a second, I really thought that there may have been some of them trying to stretch it right there. But guess I was wrong on that one, Dean. It's been a long night. It's been a long night for these drivers.
I know you're right. You're talking about 10 between Keith, 108. I mean, 99 if you go back to Jeff Merck and the likes of that. Sorry, I don't know why it's actually showing that one at the moment. But Jeff Merck boxed back on lap 99. Keith Bradley is not showing the information for me, unfortunately, because remember I had a little bit of a dingo ate my cable issue on the broadcast, but we'll do our best, my friend.
Like I said, folks, it's been a long night here this evening at Virtual Talladega Superspeedway. And I mean, it's been a long night for the drivers. It's been a long night for us. It's been a long night for the fans out there. Shout out to each and every one of you. All 30 of you out there in the live chat. Appreciate all the numbers. Appreciate all the love, all the support that you give these drivers, and also the love and support that you give the NASRA 360 Racing Network. So appreciate every single one of y'all for sticking around. A little bit late here on a Friday night is they're stacking the field up big time back down the backstretch right now. Keith Bradley, Jeff Merck, they got it stacked up big time. Look at this gap right here between the pace truck.
Hey, don't let me drive the pace truck there, Jacob. I'm driving like a Sunday night driver around here in Talladega. I'm like, Jacob, I can feel the bump here on turn 3. Need to get that fixed, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the gap is right here, why everybody's stacking the field up right here. This is kind of new right here, I guess you could say. But folks, we'll set the scene for you right here. Second green, white checkered. Jeff Merck has elected to take the top side. Keith Bradley is down on the bottom. Right behind him, you got Mark Morton and you got Adam Newton. Right behind them, Chris Blanchard and Taylor Peacock. Right behind them, you got the guy that just got spun out from 3rd, Casey Mink. He's going to be in 7th with Brandon Broadfoot in 8th. Cody Knott in 9th, and Dean Doucette able to soldier on. And looks like he may end up getting the top 10 before this thing's all said and done. Brian Chew, Matthew David Wood, and Chris Sedderman, they're the last drivers on the lead lap. Here we go. They're in the Geico restart zone. Jeff Merck gasses it up, and now we got a clean restart. Merck able to try to keep it up on the top side. Bradley missed a gear down on the bottom, stacks up the inside lane. Morton, he gets stacked up. Blanchard gets stacked up. Here comes Peacock on the outside with Brandon Broadfoot, Adam Newton trying to help Jeff Merck.
Jacob, you cannot make a mistake at this level of racing with 2 laps to go. This is it. This is your time to shine at the moment. Jeff Merck may hold on. He is an animal. He's not the other animal, but Jeff Merck has won many, many races. He started on pole. He didn't start on pole, sorry, at this point. But he's under big pressure. He can handle it. The Merc can. Keith Bradley, the animal. He wants to win this one. He's wanted to win this one the whole time there. Tally Peak on the background. 2 laps to go there, Jacob.
Here they come off a turn. Number 4, Keith Bradley able to shoot out and get away with the lead. Peacock right behind him. Mark Morton, he's going to go up to third. Jeff Merck, he's slipping back. Newton goes around Jeff Merck. So now it's going to be a battle. Who's going to win it? Final lap, white flag here at Talladega. Keith Bradley has the lead. Mark Morton going to shoot to the top side. Adam Newton thinks different of it. He was going to help Morton, but he thought different. He's going to go with Peacock. 4 drivers lined up nose to tail as they are beating the hell out of one another. They're wrecking behind them. Chris Blanchard, Dean Doucette, they go around, but we stay with the 4 drivers up here at the front. Adam Newton sitting in a bad spot right now behind 2 up front motorsports drivers, and a couple of these other ones just trying to gang up with Merck, Bullock, and Broadfoot trying to get going. But up front, Keith Bradley, he's got Taylor Peacock. Will he hang with him? No, he's going to turn on him. He's going to go to the inside. Bradley trying to force him down. They door bang at the line. Morton trying to get up there. They door bang again at the line. Keith Bradley ends up scoring the win here at Talladega. Peacock will get second. Mark Morton gets third, Adam Newton fourth, and Brandon Broadfoot from 26th up to 5th. What a finish here at Talladega.
That was, a Taylor Pick. They gave a little bit of door banging towards the end there, didn't they? Like, Keith Bradley got to try to force you off the track there in the last dying stages of this one. Keith Bradley says, no, none of my match. On my track or car. The 29 machine says, I've got magical unicorns to get me the race win.
I'm sure Murph out there in the live chat is absolutely loving this right here. The animal, Keith Bradley, got the unicorn power as we was talking about earlier. Right there on the hood there, you see the results on your screen. We'll get to those here in a second, but obviously Keith Bradley shooting down the front stretch right here at the start-finish line. He's got to burn them down right here on the front stretch as we do look at your leaderboard right here, folks. There you see Keith Bradley burning it down. He gets the win. Taylor Peacock will get second. Mark Morton will get third here this evening. We'll be talking to those drivers here in just a little bit. Adam Newton had a shot. He was close to getting a podium finish, but he ended up settling for 4th. And Brandon Broadfoot's going to round out the top 5. Your pole sitter, Jeff Burke, after all the hell he went through, he's going to end up finishing 6th here tonight with MDW getting 7th. Cody Knight's going to get 8th with Dean Doucette able to still squeak out a top 10, which is what he needed to do here this evening. He's going to finish 9th with Casey Mink, end up finishing 10th. Spice Man, Chris Cinnamon, he's going to end up finishing 11th with Chris Blanchard in 12th. Brian Chew, the last driver to finish on the lead lap in P13. The rest of these drivers 1 lap down or more, actually 4 laps down or more. The Joker, Joey Doucette, 14th. Eric Zimmerman will get 15th. Dane Hagan will get 16th. Stephen Thomas, 17th. Hope Wigington will get 18th. Brandon Bullock, 19th. Phil Pappas will get 20th. Ed Osborne gets 21st with Nate Maurer, 22nd. Robbie Richards, 23rd. Ashley Dodson will get 24th. And Raul Meza will finish 25th of the 25 drivers here this evening. Hunter Parsons, Stephen Gregory, Keith Haney, your race control here this evening. Folks, Keith Bradley, he is still burning it down out there on the front straightaway. He's going to get that laser engraved trophy, and he's going to Homestead here in 2 weeks, folks. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with your podium finishers. Don't go anywhere.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations, home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Folks, we're back here at Talladega for the NRE Power post-race interviews. There you see the results of a very chaotic finish. I guess you could say we had a lot of big ones here this evening at Talladega for the Blanchards towing 275. And what better way to go ahead and start it for the post-race interviews? Bring up the winner. Murph's Magical Creations, the unicorn with a cigar in its mouth with a unicorn power. Keith Bradley locks himself into the championship 6 at Homestead. Keith, first off, congratulations on the win. Obviously got a stage 1 win as well as a win, but it doesn't make a damn. You end up winning the race. Tell us about your race, buddy.
Is chaotic the right word for it? Interesting, weird, different. I mean, at one point in time, I think I was the cleanest truck in the whole field coming to the end, which is kind of crazy. But no, it was a ton of fun. Hats off to Taylor there. He could have really wrecked me, and he didn't. I know I kind of squeezed him and pinched him, I think. But I mean, the bottom there's so rough, so it's so hard to tell. I was kind of doing what I had to do to lock myself into the championship there. Hey, but at least we're locked in, and we can go to Chicagoland and just race and have fun.
And Keith, you know, we talked about this as well with, you know, obviously championship 6, you know, you talked about it right there. You know, you're just basically just going to Chicagoland just to have fun. A lot of drivers would look at this right here as, okay, I got one leg up on the competition. Are you looking at that as well as that you got one leg up on the competition to where now you can just go in there and just perfect your driving for Homestead, or how are we thinking about that?
Oh yeah, you're gonna have 9 guys fighting for the last few spots there. So I mean, I can sit back and watch them take each other out if that's what happens, and just ride around. And I don't know, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, the good thing is I can just go in and just basically ride around and take in the sights and sounds of Chicagoland Speedway and not have to worry about stage points and racing guys really hard to get in. I'm already locked in, so I mean, that's an added bonus. And then just show up and try some different things that I wouldn't normally try, just to see if I can learn some stuff for Homestead.
Well, Keith Bradley ends up getting a win here tonight. The Unicorn Power Murph's Magical Creations. I'm probably getting ahead of myself on that one, Keith. But Keith, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on locking yourself into that championship 6. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs you want to thank?
Yeah, Murph's Magical Creations. Like I said in my first interview, I'm trying to help Huck out the best I can. Half his team, I think, quit. So just trying to run his sponsors for him. Big shout out to my team over at Upfront: Taylor, Chris, Jeff, Ed, all them guys. I had Blanchard's Towing, Recovery, Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling. I know I'm missing some. Everybody at Upfront, Over the Top Designs, John Hedrick for putting this team together. Coming close to the end of the season to where I'll be moving on to a new team and hopefully help that new team out. And everybody at Nazareth from top to bottom, Brady, everybody that shows up every week, everybody that watches every week, and big shout out to you guys. You guys bust your ass Mondays,
Keith Bradley.
and Fridays.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this dying stages of this one. They was so close there. The pink animal. You don't mind if we call you the pink animal?
Pink animal, blue animal,
yeah,
who cares?
I was going to ask you what's at the front of that unicorn there, but look at this in the dying stages of the race. This is so close. And at the moment that Taylor Peacock says, you got it, there gives you a little tank slapper and says, congratulations, because we'll talk to Taylor Peacock in a moment there. But the animal, you've done it, my friend. Do you believe in unicorns?
I do now. Hell, this is 2 for 2 with this.
Oh, hell, we were talking about that on the broadcast. I don't believe in them, but I guess Keith Bradley has a reason to believe in the unicorn. Keith, appreciate your time, and I know you're going to be worried about Homestead, but we'll still see you next week at Chicagoland.
Thanks, appreciate it, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
That was the animal, the pink animal. Keith Bradley ends up getting the win here tonight. Now we'll move over to our second place finisher, his teammate for Upfront Motorsports, Mr. Taylor Peacock. Had a hell of a finish right there. Taylor, you had a shot right there to be able to get the win. I mean, what more could you have done other than just straight up turning Keith Bradley to win the race?
Man, I don't know. It sucks losing them that close. That's for sure. That was an awesome finish at the end. Would have definitely liked to have been on the other side of it, but I've raced with me and Keith have raced since season 1, and it's always been awesome racing with me and him. Yeah, there at the end. Oh, I don't even know what I could have did. I haven't even begun to think about it. It was so close. It was fun. I was glad that we were able to get the 1-2. Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor, you've been kind of, I guess you could say you kind of got a knack for these super speedways, always really to be there at the end. I know this is going to be really stupid for me to ask you this from one driver to the next. I mean, obviously, we're going to Daytona this Monday night for the DSR Electric Truck Series, but just a tiny secret of how the hell you end up finishing up at the front when we go to Daytona and Talladega, and even in Atlanta since you won the All-Star race last year on Monday nights.
Oh man, I can't tell you my secrets now. No, man, survival is the main key. I don't know how I survived tonight. I had a lot of damage to my truck. Looking at it, there's only 13 cars in the lead lap. First, you got to finish. That's the main key. As long as you got a truck at the end, you always got a chance at these tracks, and you got to have some luck, man. If luck is not on your side, then kiss it goodbye.
To finish first, Taylor, I have to first finish. I don't think you got
exactly.
that one.
That's what I was looking for.
Don't listen to Jacob, by the way. He's trying to steal your secrets to be a better racing driver, but you are a good racing driver. So don't listen to him, Taylor. You are a good racing driver.
I can't give him any help. He's running to beat me every week.
I'm trying to. I'm doing all I can. So, but Taylor, appreciate your time, buddy. Congratulations on that second place finish. And while we got you right here on the NRA Power post-race interviews, you got any sponsors, any shout-outs you want to thank for making this possible?
Yeah, over the top designs, Pulse Poppers, Blanchard's Towing, Chris Blanchard putting these teams together and stuff. He's an awesome guy to race for. And my teammates, awesome to race with all of them. Love racing with them. Good to race with Keith at the end. Although I'd like to beat that knucklehead, man. I'll tell you what. Good racing with Keith. And thank you guys for all that you do to all these broadcasts. I can't wait to go back and watch it. As I do every time. Keep it up. Thank you guys.
I was going to say, save the beef until the beef segment there, Jacob.
No beef. Not yet. Give me another race. I'll find some.
Yeah. Well, may end up getting him on the podcast here pretty soon, Dean. A little shout out for some of the viewers out there. May end up getting a hold of old Peacock and getting him on the show here in the next couple of weeks. Taylor, appreciate your time, and we'll see you in Chicagoland next week.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
That was Taylor Peacock, ends up getting second here tonight at Talladega. Now we'll move over to the third place finisher, and that's Mark Morton. And Mark Morton able to finish third here this evening. Mark, first off, congratulations on surviving all the hell here this evening. And tell us about your race, buddy.
It was definitely a roller coaster going up and down. Did pretty good first couple stages, then got into a couple wrecks, but managed to get my damage fixed and work my way up to the front and get a solid top three, which definitely can't complain about that.
No, you really can't, honestly, Mark, because we're sitting here, we're looking here at these points, obviously, first race in the Elite 10, you got Chicagoland next week, and you and Keith, well, we'll throw Adam Newton in there. I forgot that Adam was there. Sorry, Adam. But, you three, out of everybody in the Elite 10, y'all the only one that ended up finishing in the top 5 with a lot of drivers having a lot of problems here this evening. Big question about that. Does that change your mindset when we go to Chicagoland next week, knowing that you got a little bit of a buffer over the guys that ended up having struggles this evening?
Yeah, it does. And definitely I do want to throw out some sympathy for them because, it's Talladega, anything can happen. And with a bunch of great guys in the top 10, from top to bottom, from Merck to Pappas, in my opinion, there's no safe cushion. It's it's dog eat dog in the top 10, especially trying to get the last to make it to the top 6 for Homestead. And even then, it's still going to be dog eat dog because it's it's the cream of the crop, and all 10 of these guys are hell of a racers, and I'm just honored and privileged to be a part of the top 10.
Mark Morton ends up finishing third here tonight, looking to be in prime position to be able to put himself into that championship 6 in 2 weeks at Homestead. Mark, first off, like I said, congratulations on that third place finish. Appreciate your time. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs that you want to thank?
Yes, sir. Definitely you guys. You guys are awesome. Heck of a show. Week broadcast week in and week out, and everybody in Nazareth. Definitely all my teammates. Uh, they're they're selfless. They'll do anything they can to help me. Not anything they can, but on the track, they'll give up their spot if it means me getting 1 point or 10 points. They're a great group of guys. Every Brady for heck of a lead, Cody, Bullock, Broadfoot, Raul, Craig, everybody in Warrior Racing, um, and yeah, everybody up in the league.
Mark Morton, like I said, going to be prime position. Try to go to Homestead. This is maybe, Dean, this may be one guy that we really need to be watching out for next week. And then maybe end up seeing him at Homestead. Mark, appreciate your time. And we'll see you next week in the Windy City at Chicagoland.
Yeah, no worries. I all these cool nicknames you got, everybody. I eventually hope you guys come up with one for me because I feel kind of jealous of
Oh,
all
I
these
got one.
nicknames out there.
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
I got one. Don't worry about it. How about you stay tuned next week there, Mr. Mark Morton? Because I got one for you.
Oh yes, sir. I tune in week in and week out, and sometimes sometimes it messes me up because
You could DM me if it's right or wrong. In fact, I'll let everybody in the chat there decide if it's right or wrong. But I'm going to tell you, I've got one, Mark. I've been thinking about it for some time.
I appreciate it.
Keep an eye out for the number 8 machine. Good on you, my friend.
Matter of fact, I've actually got one off the top of my head, to be honest with you.
Hey, talk to me, Jacob.
All right, I want to hear it. Let's hear it.
No. Next week, my friend. Next week, let's save it.
I'll go ahead and tell him.
No, you can't spoil the surprise
yeah, come
now.
on, just one.
Jacob.
We gotta spoil it. We gotta spoil it. Come on.
You haven't talked to me about it yet.
one.
All right, whisper it in my ear quickly. Whisper it.
Eminem.
No. Are you kidding me? I got better than that.
Oh, come on.
Are you kidding me? No. Mark, talk to me, my friend. No,
Well,
I got
if
it for
it's
you next week.
Eminem, then I guess I'll have to rock an Eminem paint scheme for
No.
you.
I got something that will rock the Martin Morton 8 machine. Definitely. Jacob,
all right, sounds good.
I got to take you to bloody school. Anyway.
Man, takes me to school. Yeah, then you gotta take me to school. Mark, appreciate your time. We'll see you in Chicago, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
You got kids in the background screaming for your fantastic job there in P3.
Yeah, that's my daughter.
There you go. Good on you, Marky. You got the job done. Love it. P3.
All righty, well, folks, that was
where we
Mark
going,
Morton
Jacob?
ends up finishing third. And Dean, there you see it right there, baby. We're down to 2 races left in the season. Talladega over, done with here this evening. Hate to see it go, but we'll come back around to it here pretty soon. You see Chicagoland next week, June 14th, and then the week after that, we're going to crown a champion. Season 8 for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. Dean, final thoughts in a wild race, as we always see right here in Sweet Home, Alabama.
Final thoughts there, Jacob. Thank you very much for sleeping on your sofa for the last 3 days doing it at Talladega. I love the circuit, but you know what? I'm done with the Deep South. I love it. It's a fantastic racing course, and I appreciate everybody that's put this whole fantastic series on. But I need a break from Talladega. It's too much energy. It's too much excitement, my friend. I'm sweating. It's lovely, and obviously, the gladiators that perform on the arena are the ones that do the show. You and me up in the booth, my friend. Well, we're just sitting on and chewing some kangaroos and kangaroo jerky and all that sort of stuff there, Jacob. So I appreciate your efforts and everybody else this evening for the Nazareth Network.
Absolutely, folks. I mean, I love this place right here with all my heart. I really do. This place is Talladega has been, a second home to me, I guess. with my dad going for vacations and everything. And also me and my wife got engagement pictures here at Talladega right before, or a couple months before we got married. So this place right here is always going to have a special place in my heart. Hate to see it go, but we'll be happy to come back here very, very soon, whether it be Monday night or Friday night. But folks, that's going to do it for this broadcast for the Blanchards Towing 275. Want to congratulate Keith Bradley on the win. Hopefully he's got a spot picked out for that laser engraved trophy. Also got to thank all the sponsors, obviously Blanchards Towing, for everything that they do with Nazra. I mean, you got all the sponsors: Premier Racing Setups, Pulse Poppers, DSR Electric for everything that they do on the Monday night series, A's Lawnscaping and Lawn Care. I mean, the list goes on and on. Just sponsors just at the yin yang, butt kicker. Just so many sponsors that really has a lot to do with the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. And shout out to Bernie LaBeouf, Cody Knott, for letting us be ourselves each and every night that we get on here and broadcast to you, the fans. And shout out to you fans, each and every damn one of y'all coming out each and every night of the week, supporting your drivers and supporting, family, friends, however you want to look at it. Shout out to the drivers for always putting on one hell of a show, no matter where we go. If it's Talladega, Bristol, or a dirt track, y'all kill it each and every night. For the Australian Dean Biggles, I am the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves, saying as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast, and oh yeah, yes, we going to the Windy City. You damn right. Jesus may have just left Chicago, but the Nazra C.O.P.S Truck Series, they're going for the final race in the Elite 10. Who's going to Homestead? Find out next Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, only on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. We'll see you there.